From San Marcos, Texas, it's Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. It's homecoming weekend for the Texas State Bobcats, all decked out in the Southwest Texas Threads as they prepare to face off against the surging Troy Trojans, winners of 2 straight. So sit back and enjoy throwback style as kickoff is coming up next. Good evening and welcome inside UFCU Stadium alongside Keith Moreland. I'm Brant Freeman. It's homecoming weekend for the Bobcats, but it's also a turnaround season for the Trojans and a team that's coming off a monumental overtime win last week against South Alabama. How do the Trojans capitalize off the momentum and bring it into a hostile environment tonight?
Well, I think this is one of the things that they got to pull from that victory last week. You know, this team's only lost twice this season, once to Clemson and once on the road to Memphis. So you just look at this, a good football team. They've got things going in their direction. Now, this is a huge game, 1-0 coming into this game in Sun Belt play.
That's what the Bobcats are looking to rebound after a very difficult loss last week against Arkansas
Boy,
State.
it's just so an emotional game as you go down the field. You've got to get it in the end zone. You do get it in the end zone. You come, score, you take a 6-point lead, have a chance to have a 7-point lead. You haven't missed one all season long. You missed one to the right, and all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game. Try to play defense, and here comes a really good Arkansas State club coming back in this one. Scores, and then your stomach just empties right there.
Jalen Rayner engineering a touchdown drive with 7 seconds to go, and then the game-winning point after from Clune Van Andel for the Red Wolves as Arkansas State won it 31-30. A very tough night for sure for kicker Tyler Robles. So for G.J. Kinney, his team again looking to rebound, but his message this week to everybody that's asked, there is no panic in that room right now.
Well, they feel like they're a good football team. Yes, they don't, but they've got their backs against the wall. This is a must-win game in Sun Belt play. You do not want to fall behind 0-2 in conference play in the Western Division of the Sun Belt.
Meanwhile, Jared Parker, how about the job he's done in his second season at the helm of this Trojan program?
Oh, he's done a really nice job rebuilding this program. Like I said, these only 2 losses for the Troy Trojans, and one against Clemson, who at that time was considered one of the top teams in the country, and Memphis, both good football teams. So they've got to get it done, and they got to get it done on the road, and let's get playing.
The opening kick from Patty McAteer is taken out about 5 yards deep out of the end zone by Jalen Jenkins. And a good return across the 30, breaks a tackle and stumbles across the 40-yard line, falls just short of reaching midfield. As we take a look at Texas State quarterback Brad Jackson, will begin to start tonight for Texas State. And so far, impressive numbers for the redshirt freshman, completing nearly 70% of his passes.
I really enjoyed visiting with him this week and just seeing it. He said, yeah, there's some things that I'm still learning, still want to do it. He says, I've got to improve each and every day. And I love the fact is that he says, you know, I can talk to the coaches now and say, hey, that's not a play that I really like. I'd like this one a little better. So he's making decisions of how this offense is going to go. Boy, he's been good so far.
Jackson over 360 yards of total offense last week against the Red Wolves. Over 130 yards alone on the ground. Speaking of the ground, Jackson starts off this drive with his feet, slides down to the 49 for a gain of 4.
Well, he's a guy they want to go quickly, and here they are right back to the line of scrimmage. We thought we might see NASCAR in this first drive, and that's what we're seeing. Get it and go.
Jackson, one of the captains on this team, going to fire that one complete to Bo Sparks and twist it down short of the first down marker. And that's going to set up 3rd down for Texas State following the tackle made by Jabari Strait.
Tight formation, no substitution.
Bobcats have the best 3rd down offense in the Sun Belt, and Lincoln Perry fighting for the sticks. And he's going to be on short.
Make it. It's going to be 4th down. Interesting call right off the bat with G.J. Kimmey.
4th down. About the length of the football to go.
Slowed it down a little bit here. Tight formation.
It's Perry off the left side, and he's got it to keep the drive moving for Texas State.
Yeah, you got to give it. You look in there in that middle, and you see those big guys, Brock, Riker, guys right in the middle, and boy, just ran it right up the gut for the 1st down.
The Bobcats have scored a touchdown on the opening drive in 2 consecutive games against Nichols and Arkansas State. Back to pass, Jackson. And slings it deep for Sparks in stride and the catch inside the 10.
But just an outstanding right route by Bo Sparks. He sells it going to the out, comes back to the inside, and Jackson, I love how he led him away from the defender for the first down and in the red zone.
Beat the coverage from Justin Poe. Now on goal to go, it's Perry right up the gut, and to the 6 he goes on a gain of 3. Second and goal coming up.
How about Perry's size? Everybody says, well, could he be a power runner? He gets so low that he drives underneath everybody like he did right there and got something out of nothing.
Second and goal, Texas State from the 6. Perry again, and not going anywhere this time. Talik Robbins in on the tackle there for the Trojans. Third and goal coming up for the Bobcats on the 7th play of the drive.
Robbins right there. He just not being pushed around. Now some substitutions here, and that allows the defense to substitute at the same time. So wholesale changes in that front defensive front for Troy. Tell back into the game for the Bobcats.
Greg Burrell to the backfield for Texas State on third and goal. From the 8, Jackson steps up to run. Jackson to the end zone for the touchdown.
Spread everybody out, Brent. Get everybody on the outside, quarterback draw, and Jackson uses his feet. What an opening drive for the Bobcats.
His Sun Belt leading 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and the 11th of his career. 8-play, 55-yard drive. Big play on the drive was the 35-yard hookup to Bo Sparks. Of course, a big return from Jalen Jenkins as well, the opening kick. And for a third straight game, the Bobcats have opened things up with a touchdown drive. Brad Jackson with a touchdown run for Texas State to get things started. The Bobcats early lead over the Troy Trojans in this West Division Sun Belt Conference matchup. Bobcats taking the early 7-0 lead. We take a look at the keys to the game for both the Trojans and the Bobcats tonight.
Well, you just look at it when you come out here. You got to win on first and second down if you're the Trojans to move the ball, and they've got to find a way to get put touchdowns on the board when they get in the red zone. On the other side, create short fields. That means you've got to create some turnovers, something that the Bobcats have not done very much of. And then the other part, last week you scored 30 points, couldn't win the game. Got to get complementary football. Both sides doing their part.
That was a big point of emphasis. Talking to G.J. Kinney earlier in the week, there have been games in which the offense has played well, the defense has not, and vice versa. And you mentioned the 30 points, over 500 yards of offense. no turnovers offensively, and yet Texas State did not win the game last week against the Red Wolves. Following the touchdown drive engineered by Brad Jackson. Here's the kick from Michael James, and the Trojans will start with their own 25-yard line. And with that, we will take a look at Tucker Kilcrease tonight, making his 5th career start for the Trojans.
Well, he is just an outstanding player. Last week, threw for more than 200 yards, ran for more than 100 yards. He's just a spectacular offensive player. You can just see him grow as a quarterback. You know, you say completion percentage is not great, but he just does so many different things. He is tough to bring down. He is not a guy that you get after, that he will use his feet, get outside the pocket. He's going to be asked to do a lot tonight on the road.
And to be fair to Kilcrease, his completion percentage has been much better over the last 2 games. Quick pass out into the flats, and that's not going anywhere. DJ Epps on the catch, but tackled for a loss of a yard. Good pursuit from Ryan Nolan, and a 2nd and long.
Yeah, first snap of the game, and offensive lineman down. I'll try to get that number 2. That's the center, Paul Bowling. And he is a freshman, and he's down. And boy, you hate to lose your center. There's so much that he is involved in making the calls, the snaps. He is down on the turf.
Well, the Trojans know injuries all too well, especially on the offensive side of the football. They're already down. They're starting right tackle for the year in Garner Langlow. A redshirt freshman, Caleb Ash, starting in his place. And in the case of Bowling, he is the only true freshman starting at center in the entire country. He's down right now for Troy. A team without a starting quarterback coming into the year, and Goose Crowder. There have also been injuries to the backfield, and
it's just been a remarkable job that this coaching staff's done to put them in position to be 3-2. But, you know, it just gets tangled up in the mess under there. There's just so much of a mess around when you're having a quick – it's a charge block that you have. You snap and you charge out. And sometimes you get tired up in all the mesh. And he's trying to shake it off and see if he can get back out. He came to his feet and then decided he needed to take it off, and he is moving toward the sidelines here.
Tyler Cappy is the backup center, and he'll be the one getting the football to Tucker Kilcrease here as Bowling comes out. And the Trojans staring at 2nd down and 11.
Well, this is a team that they're in their DNA want to run the football first. And they got a running formation here.
Meadows in the backfield for the Trojans. Lead back for Troy. Team that's had so many good running backs over the years. It is Meadows on 2nd down and cut down for a loss. Bobby Crosby coming off the edge to make the play, and his 3rd and long coming up for Troy.
Strong safety just moving down, coming off the corner. 2 plays, 2 negative plays to start the ball game, so it'll be 3rd and long for the Trojans.
And what did we just say? Key to the game for Troy, winning 1st and 2nd down. They have not done that in this series.
Yeah, because it just puts you when you're 3rd and 12, it's difficult to get a 1st down.
When facing 3rd and 10 or longer this year, the Trojans are 4 for 26. Low snap, quick pass is complete. And
4
well
for 27
short
now.
On the 1st down, as DJ Epps is twisted down short of the 30, and the Trojans go 3 down to start the night.
Brent, that's such an important point you brought up right there. You know, it's just you can get your offense going when you look up and you're 2nd and 5. But if you're 2nd and 10 or 11, it just puts you in such a difficult situation to move the chains.
Well, Sparks back to return the punts from Evan Crenshaw, 3rd highest punting average in the country. Sparks fields it at the 21. With a flag in, Sparks a long return. Inside of midfield, this might come back. Sparks has blocks, and Sparks is gone. But there is a penalty all the way back at the 27-yard line. We'll check the flag.
This is a block in the back, and it was right out in the open. They may call it a push in the back, but he just didn't get his head around. It's going to be about the 25-yard line or 22-yard line and back him up. Takes a points off the board.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 20. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Wipes out what would have been a 79-yard punt return for a score for both Sparks. Would have been the 2nd of his career. So Texas State will have the football at a zone at 20-yard line when we come back. 7-0 Bobcats on top with the second drive coming up here at UFCU Stadium.
On the board, it's just really tough. Bo Sparks, you can see the block right there as Malik Willis just gets a piece of the back of the defender, and then Sparks gets to the outside, does an outstanding job of weaving in and out of traffic and takes it to the house. Points come off the board, though, but that push in the back, ball will be at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Boy, there's nothing more frustrating to a special teams coach is to get a return, and it's brought back.
Penalties were killer for Texas State last week, specifically on offense. The Bobcats for the game committed a season-high 9 penalties for 75 yards against the Red Wolves. That pass is batted down. Good defensive play made by Donnie.
And really got a piece of it, knocked it away. Is a guy that's good off the edge.
This has been one of the better defensive units in the conference this year. The Trojans 3rd of the Sun Belt in total defense and in points allowed as Dawn has the catch run to the post route across the 35 and a first down on a gain of 18.
Boy, when he's healthy, he is so important to this offense. And here's this NASCAR again, right back to the line of scrimmage.
Quick snap, it's Burrell looking for a crease. And it hits a lot of Trojan shirts right at the 40-yard line for a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Now talking to the Trojan coaching staff coming into the game, the #1 priority for this defense, finding a way to contain Brad Jackson.
Yep, it keep him in the pocket. Well, we've already seen him use his legs at this point in the game already.
2nd down and 7, Burrell again. Burrell in the hole. There goes Burrell. And he is gone. Touchdown, Texas State, 59 yards.
That's just outstanding blocking up front. And in the throwback uniforms, the Bobcats in throwback mode. They have come out and offensively explosion on 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
The Bobcats, one of the more explosive offenses in the country. That is their 8th play this year of 50 yards or more, 4th most in the nation. And for Burrell, longest carry this season, first rushing touchdown since the opener for the first-year transfer out of UNLV. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Greg Burrell Again, morning of the Red Sea for the offensive line here.
Yeah, good lead block up in front on the linebacker, knocked him backwards, and then Burrell, once he broke the line of scrimmage, there was no safety back there, and just outran everybody to the house. Second time he has found pay dirt. Just watch this block right here. Boom! Just clears the path to the outside. What an outstanding job. Stamey, the tight end, getting that block. He's what separated that run right there.
Yeah, you said it, Keith. You look at the replay there. Ty Stamey is a backup tight end. Texas State has lost one of his tight ends, Blake Smith, out because of injury. Stamey having to step up. And the man he blocked, Devin Lafayette, for the Trojans, the reigning Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He had 19 tackles last week, and Stamey had a great block on him.
Just an outstanding block. He squared him at the shoulder pads. Nice cut off of that by the running back Burrell, and just takes it to the house. There was nobody behind it. Oh, what a start. I mean, we have played 5 minutes and 40 seconds of football and dominating so far.
Well, how about the way this Bobcat team has responded after the tough loss last week? Look at the message in the locker room, nobody hanging their heads, and that's been evident with the way they've started tonight as a fair catch is called for and bobbled, but ultimately made by DJ Epps. And the Trojans will again start for the 25-yard line. This is an important drive coming up for Troy. First possession, 3 and out. This Bobcat offense is clicking. Yeah, the Trojans have got to engineer a drive.
Yeah, there's 2 reasons that's important. Obviously, the first one is, sort of slow the game down a little, get their offense going and get a good rhythm on the offense side. The other part of that, allow the defensive staff to sort of get together and say, what are they doing to us? Because 12 offensive plays for 135 yards already for Texas State.
First down for the 25. It's Meadows, and he is met by Jameis Meinitz. Tackled the 26, only a gain of a yard. Do note this is a very resilient Trojan team. Out to a 3-2 start. Overcame a 17-0 deficit to beat Buffalo. They trailed to the fourth quarter against Nichols, came back to win that game. So they've been here before.
Yeah, this is a team that's not going to panic. Now they come out empty here. Different formation than any we've seen so far.
Gilcrease coming off his best game as a Trojan as Texas State calls for a timeout.
And guys were not lined up right, and that came from the head coach. We'll get to it when we get back.
Timeout Bobcats with the Trojans looking at 2nd down and 10. All Bobcats early on leading 14-0. Bobcats' early 14-0 lead, facing a Trojan program that's been one of the flag bearers in the Sun Belt Conference. No program has more Sun Belt titles than the Troy Trojans, 8 of them, including back-to-back championships not long ago in 2022 and again the following year, 2023. In fact, no other Sun Belt team has won more games, more conference games over the last 22 years than Troy, 102. And of those, 45 wins on the road, second only to Louisiana. The backs against the wall here, trailing by 2 touchdowns, second drive of the game. And Kilcrease back to throw. That pass is dropped at the 30-yard line. Ray Thomas couldn't get his hands on it. Ra Thomas, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Thomas had the football right there. It's a good pitch. Just didn't secure it. Now again, 3rd and 10. It's hard. They've struggled on 3rd down, but it's because of what they've done on 1st and 2nd down in this offense. It's hard to convert 3rd and 10s. Bobcats will be pinning their ears back coming after them here.
G.J. Kinney noting for the Bobcats to have success, they have to hit Kilcrease every chance they get. This is a passing down as Kilcrease is harassed, able to escape, throws it off his back foot and throws it away. Well, there's the pressure that G.J. Kinney was asking for, and Troy again goes 3 and out.
Yeah, they go 3 and out. The other part of this, when they spied him. It was interesting. They showed 5 at the line of scrimmage. They rushed 3 and spied him with 2 guys. They were not going to let him get outside the pocket. And the pressure forced him to throw it away. And, well, I tell you what, this defense for Texas State, you got to give them a lot of credit. Now they're pinning their ears back, and their offense is just putting points on the board.
Well, here's Sparks, who had a 79-yard return for a score wiped out due to a penalty last time out. Crenshaw gets it away for the Trojans. The punt hangs high in the air for a long time, and with that hang time, Sparks will call for the fair catch at the 30-yard line.
You got a chance right here. Defensive staff for Troy has had to say, all right, we got to get a stop here. On the other side, if you're the offensive staff for Texas State, you're thinking you can get a knockout blow right here. I mean, you find a way to put 6 on the board right here in this first quarter. You have a 21-point lead early in the first half, albeit, but still.
3rd series of the night for Texas State. Perry motion out of the backfield. Jackson on the keeper. Lunges ahead of the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a face mask there. Didn't get the call. Jackson grabbing him on the mask. Get a chance to look at it again right here from the side. Watch that helmet go. Ooh, yeah, there's no question. You saw that head spin.
After the missed call, 2nd down and 7. Here's Perry on the run. They'll set up 3rd down and manageable for Texas State. And this is their sweet spot when the Bobcats are faced with 3rd and 4 or less. They're converting 71% of the time.
That's just an incredible number. When I read that this week, I was stunned by it.
This 3rd down and 3, they need the 40 to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, Jackson pressured, steps up to run. There he goes. Brad Jackson. A 1st down across midfield into Trojan territory at the 46.
Yeah, the Trojans decided to come with a blitz that time, and they come with a package, come after him, and Jackson sees it, puts it down quickly. Shows you his speed, running to the outside and gets out of bounds in Troy territory.
Quick snap, handoff to Lincoln Perry on 1st down. We had a chance to talk to Brad Jackson earlier in the week. We asked him, what's it like to run this offense? And he says he's given a lot of freedom, a lot of reign, and it is a lot of fun to run this offense led by offensive coordinator Landon Keppel.
Yeah, the great thing, you can see him almost smile. He says, it is so much fun to be out there. I'm learning every day, but I feel like I got a pretty good grasp on it. But I thought the interesting thing was a little smile when you ask him that question. He says, yeah, I've got some freedom.
On 2nd down, Jackson, 2nd and 7, is wrapped up from behind. Good ball security on the tackle made by Elijah Davis. And that's one area in which Jackson's really shined in, and that's been his ability to protect the football.
Yeah, doing a great job of understanding. You saw there, he running with both hands on it, knew he was going to get hit. Now this is the first 3rd and long of the ball game for the Bobcats.
So far, 2 for 3 in the game on 3rd down. Khaled Evans in motion. Jackson steps up, locates Evans, and Evans into traffic, and he's right at the sticks. Needed a 36 for a first down.
They're going to give him the first down. Well done.
And he's got it on his first catch of the night.
You see Jackson, I like this right here. That's not an easy throw. He had, all around his feet, dirty pocket, and got rid of it.
First down and 10. It is Burrell. Had that explosive 59-yard touchdown gallop on the last series for Texas State. This one good for a couple. And coming into the week, Keith, G.J. Kenny noting that Troy doesn't typically give up a lot of big plays. He felt as if they were going to have to be very patient offensively, but they hit that home run earlier in the quarter.
In the running game as well.
2nd and 7. Jackson facing the blitz. Steps up and tripped up from behind. The blitzing Stephen Catledge able to make the stop there for the Trojans, and it's 3rd down.
Now, did a really nice job. That was well designed. It brought him from the 2nd level, and when you see the 2nd level blitzes, a lot of times as a quarterback, by the time you make a decision, I got to get out of here, he's got all the momentum. You can't accelerate fast enough to get away from it. Now, 3rd and 11.
Catledge wearing that coveted number 2 jersey, worn by Trojan great Carlton Marshall for so many years. Another blitz from Troy, pass over the middle, caught by Dawn. He's got blocks, and Dawn goes out of bounds with a flag in. Back at the 30-yard line, and another flag at the end of the play.
This is going to be offensive holding. It's going to be a spot foul. It's going to bring that back. It's going to be 3rd and 13.
Our head official tonight, Marshall Lewis, on the call.
Offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
You get out on a point, even though you're a tight end, you're used to blocking in smaller spaces, but you get out on a point. Watch right here. He just gets that hand and reaches out there, and he didn't finish it, but he makes first contact, and then he reaches out and gets a little bit of that jersey. It's going to come back on a regular basis. Now, back in a situation where you're going to need a few yards to be in field goal range here.
Again, the Bobcats have had a lot of success this year in 3rd down. When faced with 3rd and long, 9 yards or further, just 2 for 13 on the year. Looking at 3rd and 12. Jackson going to run it. Jackson inside the 35, angles for the sideline, and Jackson's got the first down. What a play with his feet out of the pocket to keep the drive extended for Texas State.
And then good blocking downfield, too, as well. And nimble feet, sees it to the outside, and watch the receivers come in and get a block. Allows him to tiptoe the sidelines and get out of bounds with the first down.
The consensus around the Sun Belt is that Brad Jackson is not playing like a freshman right now.
No, he does not look like a freshman.
So cool and composed out there. Already 74 yards passing for Jackson, 40 on the ground. And here we are in the first quarter. And there's a big hit in the backfield. Jordan Stringer, the leader of this defense, able to wrap up Lincoln Perry for a loss of 3.
Just tried to do a little cross buck, his penetration from the backside. When that guard pulls, the backside defensive end just collapses right down with him. And nowhere for Lincoln to move right there. Negative play here.
Stringer, the 4th leading tackler in the Sun Belt. More than 200 stops in his Trojan career. 2nd down and 13. Jackson fakes the pitch, well protected, fires over the middle for Evans. Inside the 10. 1st and goal, Texas State.
Evans not getting up, but what a heck of a catch. This is a beautiful throw, no question. And it's a really fine throw, but Evans, what a catch. Has to reach out behind himself and sort of rolls over, down, but held on to the football and the first down. 1st and goal now.
He may have rolled onto the football as well. Down to the play.
Stayed in the pocket, and watch this. That's just a beautiful catch. And a perfect throw. He threw that past 2 defenders.
He had Luis Medina, one of the top defensive linemen of the Sun Belt, right in his face. And Jackson, cool and composed, made the throw. And the numbers are just absurd right now in this first quarter, as one of the Trojan players was also down. And coming out of that was DJ Jackson for Troy, as they're still looking at Kylan Evans. But getting back to the numbers here, total yards, Texas State 208, Troy 3.
The disparity is unbelievable. You just 200-yard quarter. That's a 200-yard quarter. We still have 241 to go in the first quarter.
The Bobcats set the total offensive yardage record in last year's homecoming game against Southern Miss, close to 700. They're on pace to shatter that tonight. The big red zone target, one of the smaller players in the field, Bo Sparks at 5'11", in a slot here on 1st and goal. From the 7-yard line, it's Perry, and Lincoln Perry to the end zone for the touchdown. 19th rushing touchdown of his career.
Really well-designed play. Looks like it's going to be a snap to the quarterback. Instead, it's a direct snap. Finds a way to break the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, about the 7-yard line, and into the end zone. What a remarkable first quarter for the Bobcats now.
Perry.
10 minutes, they've held the football, sorry, Brent, for 215 yards and an extra point away from 21 on the board here in the first quarter.
Right now looking at the left leg of Elijah Davis. Look back at the touchdown here from Perry. A direct snap to Perry. Got away from Davis and Stringer. And he has now scored in all but one game this season.
Just so quick, strong. I like that little jump step he had there right in the middle that broke a tackle into the end zone.
That is his 6th rushing touchdown of the year for Perry. He's closing in on 2,000 yards rushing. As a Bobcat, of course, began his career at Arkansas State from Germantown, Tennessee.
He's overcome a lot in his career, too. I mean, injuries.
Missed the entirety of G.J. Kenny's debut season, 2023, but there was no bigger supporter off the sidelines than Perry that year. And the point after makes it 21-0 Texas State. Just a dominant first quarter.
It's just almost stunning. Obviously, they came out. They wanted to come quickly. They're playing complementary football. They still haven't created a turnover, but their offense has just been spectacular. My math is not great, but if you have 215 yards in 25 plays, somewhere around 8 yards a play. The last time I checked, it's close if it's not there.
Last scoring drive for the Bobcats, 13 plays. Touchdowns for the Bobcats in this opening quarter. Jackson, Burrell, and now Lincoln Perry. Talking to his running backs coach, rather, Merrick Neely, former Texas State great. Earlier this season, his 2005 team recognized for its 20-year anniversary. And here's Michael James on the upcoming kickoff. That's going to bounce into the end zone. The Bobcats have 3 touchdowns. The Trojans have yet to get a first down. There needs to be a sense of urgency right now if you're Troy's offense.
No question. And what a great kick. What a great bounce. That ball was ticketed to go out of bounds, Brent, and it hit at the 3-yard line and kicked back into the field of play instead of kicking out of bounds, and that means that it'll be at the 25. But you're absolutely right. This is another. Got to get a first down, get some continuity on offense.
The Trojan team coming off what they called an emotional win last week But the momentum so far is not carried over into tonight as Meadows is gobbled up. Going to lose about a half yard there. 2nd down and 11. And that was actually Jordan Lovett on the carry there for Troy, but the Trojans again are not winning first down.
No, they're not winning first down. The defensive front right now is winning the snaps.
Offensive coordinator for the Trojans, Sean Reagan, calling Texas State's front four the best in the Sun Belt. They play like it tonight. Kilcrease swings it out complete. And the best play of the night for the Trojans. Out across the 40-yard line. Roman Mothershed, the catch. That's a first down for Troy.
Yeah, 2 good blocks by his partner wide receivers on the outside. He splits it, gets the first down, and moves the chains.
Make it Trey Taylor, beg your pardon. First-year transfer out of Coastal Carolina. One of the bigger playmakers for the team. Averaging more than 17 yards a catch. That leads all Trojan wideouts. Off the first down of the game. First quarter winding down. Kilcrease. Pressure coming, going deep. And that is caught on the run inside the 10, all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. Ra-Ra Thomas. What a beautiful pass from Tucker Kilcrease.
That is just outstanding throw right there. Took a shot, got good blocking up front, and he laid it out where his guy had the only chance to make a play on it. There is a flag on the play. That play is going to be declined. It's going to be, I think, defensive holding as he tried to reach up and grab a piece of him. But this is going to go for a touchdown.
Result of play is the touchdown. Pass interference, defense number 21. Penalties decline. Try for point.
Boy, excellent pitch and catch.
It's a 57-yard hookup there for the Trojans. 3rd touchdown catch of the year for Thomas, longest catch of the season. And has now scored in 3 straight games for Troy. His stock is rising, the first-year transfer to Georgia. A drive that Troy needed, and it is a 14-point game.
Well, just a great job of blocking, then a little pushing and shoving going on, but just a really nice job. And how about finishing that run at the end? Refused to go down and kept his balance and into the end zone just inside the pylon. What an answer. That is, we got a lot of football left.
It's one of the best passes of the year for Tucker Kilcrease.
Thomas with an outstanding catch there, doing a job keeping his eyes on the football. And Kilcrease, he laid that ball in the one spot where his guy could catch it.
3-play, 75-yard drive in 1:17 seconds. The 2 big plays to Taylor and then Thomas from 57 yards makes a play there for Troy. Trojans had a lot of big plays last week. Season high 7 plays for over 20 yards in the Battle of the Belt, beating longtime rival South Alabama, outlasting the Jaguars in overtime. McAteer with the ensuing kick. Fielded by Jenkins. Had a big return to open the game. Jenkins out across the 20. Jenkins sheds a tackle and stops short of the 30-yard line.
How about the catch? The catch, this line drive kick. This is just an incredible catch, and then starts it up the middle, and then a big blow right here. Just knocks off his feet.
It wasn't like fielding a kick. It was like catching a pass.
Yeah, it was up over his helmet. It's a heck of a catch.
Well, look at Texas State's big offensive line. Pound for pound, the biggest offensive line in the country.
They're missing one of their guys, too.
Anchors Dorian Strawn and Sully Burns, or Talik Lockett for Texas State. Did mention Burns, who started all 6 games now this year for the Bobcats. Second-year transfer out of Tulane. Screen for both Sparks. Sparks makes a man miss and wrapped up with a 35 after a gain of 6. Will bring up 2nd down and 4. TJ Thompson for the tackle.
Hurry up, right back to the line of scrimmage.
Jackson to the first quarter, 7 of 8 passing. Going to hand it off here to Perry. And he stopped short of the first down by about a yard. Luke Hodge in the stop for Troy.
They could take it to the end of the quarter, but they're going quickly.
Under 30 seconds to go in a quarter that's been all Texas State. 3rd down and 1. It's Perry again, up the middle, and there goes Lincoln Perry. The Bobcats have hit another home run. Touchdown Perry, his 2nd tonight.
Brent, we got a night of explosives. I mean, there are explosive plays everywhere. Just an outstanding job of blocking up front. 2nd time to pay dirt. Wow. We're an extra point away from 35 in the 1st quarter.
When it comes to the line of scrimmage, the Bobcats have been absolutely dominant tonight. Texas State, 185 yards rushing in the 1st quarter. They're averaging 9 yards of play on the ground, and Perry, this last one, good for 62.
Just great blocking right at the line of scrimmage, well-designed play, and then Perry gets into the open space, outruns everybody. Watch, great blocking right here. Good guy had a shot at him right there. It was Hodge, had a shot at him in the backfield. Once he cleared that, he was into the end zone.
What a quarter for Texas State offensively. 14 yards shy of 300 in the quarter.
Well, they've run 28 plays, Brant, for 286 yards. And again, I'm not a math major, but that's 10 yards a play now.
For you EA Sports college football fans, this game right now in freshman mode if you're Texas State. Kickoff from James. Into the end zone. Likely one more play to go in this 1st quarter. A quarter to remember if you're the Bobcats.
Oh, there's no question. Over 350 yards of total offense by both clubs. 4 touchdowns for the Bobcats. Trojans scoring a big play. It's just been one of those nights of every snap seems like you don't know if it's going to go to the house.
Gilcrease, last time he was out there, fired a 57-yard touchdown to Ra Thomas. 1 play to go in the quarter. He's going to sling it over the middle at a 1st down for the Trojans. Thomas again up to the 41-yard line at a gain of 16. Make that Mothershed the catch for Troy, and that will end an explosive, entertaining 1st quarter for Texas State. How about the offensive onslaught from the Bobcats? Nearly 300 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns, all on the ground for Texas State.
Well, they've just been outstanding on the ground. It's been a ton of big plays throughout this 1st quarter, and we'll come back for the 2nd quarter. Texas State leads it 28-7.
Texas State University President Dr. Kelly Danvers, State Director of Athletics Don Coriel, recognize tonight's game sponsor.
huge offensive quarter as they built a 21-point lead. We'll get back to some of that here in a moment, but first, the start of the second quarter here for the Trojans with the football now nearing midfield. Last time the Trojans wrapped it offensively, able to engineer a quick scoring drive. And Keith, the Trojans cannot afford any empty possessions in this game with the way Texas State's playing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they want to, again, in their DNA is to run the football, but they may have to put it in the air more than they want to try to get back in this ball game down 21 here in the second quarter.
A flag here before the snap.
Full start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
You get a positive yard on first down, and then you get that 5-yard negative yards. Now you're behind the chains again, and that's not where they want to play from. They want to play ahead of the chains.
First penalty of the game, charge against Troy. It was a fairly penalty-free first quarter, although there was one costly one against Texas State. That pass over the middle, reeled in by Peyton Higgins. And Higgins fights for the first down inside the midfield.
Wow, really nice route. He just sort of slipped in behind, let everything clear, and came in right behind it, dropped it right off to him, and got enough for the first down.
Known as Mr. Reliable in this offense, Higgins, the top returning wideout for the Trojans from a year ago, their top receiver from last season. Devontae Ross transferred to Penn State. A big loss in terms of weapons for Troy from a year ago. On first down and 10, big run for Meadows. Chopped down short of the 40-yard line after Dana Bates.
Good job up front. That was a nice sell job. Sold it. See, just pulls it back to the left. Good trap block right in front.
Meadows scored the game-winning touchdown against South Alabama last week in overtime. It's been the bell cow back for the Trojans this year. Just had 4 carries in his career in his first 2 seasons prior to this year. Here turns out a first down near the 35.
He runs hard. It's a pad level down. Changes on the defensive front for Texas State.
Meadows remains the backfield here for Troy. Had a huge season opener against Nichols. Had a come from behind win for Troy. On first down, it's the keeper for Kilcrease. Saw him use his feet a lot last week against the Jaguars, over 100 yards rushing. Haven't seen much of that tonight.
You haven't seen. They just haven't had much success. This is by far their most consistent drive. They had a huge play, an explosive that got them in the end zone. But this is their best drive as far as using a complement of run and pass on the night.
7 play of the drive coming up. Started back at the Trojan 25-yard line. Empty backfield for Kilcrease. Low snap, going to take him off schedule and throws it away. And remember, Paul Bowling, the starting center, came out of the game early on with an injury. Maybe an issue right there in the center to quarterback exchange.
Well, the other thing is that Texas State changed up. They went to man coverage, and it showed zone, went into man, and had nowhere to go to it with the pressure. Probably 4-down territory here at the 33-yard line.
Trojans looking for the first 3rd-down conversion of the night. And the Bobcats will talk about it on defense. Troy on the move, but faced with 3rd down and 6 here early in the second quarter. Bobcats on top 28-7. You're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. look at just recent history. Kamani Vidal now playing with the Chargers, looking to start this week at Fackville A. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons when Troy won Sunbelt titles. Damian Taylor a year ago, over 1,000 yards rushing. And right now, Troy offensively is putting the ball in the hands of Tay Meadows, the featured back, and he's on pace for about 1,000 yards himself this season.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about. The DNA of the Troy Trojans is they're going to run the football. Now, they spread you out. They do it in different ways, but they can definitely move the ball on the ground. That's what they want to do. A lot of times if they get the lead, they control the clock by running the football.
Out of the timeout called by Texas State, the Bobcats have one left. It is 3rd down and 6 for Troy. The tight end Connor in motion. On 3rd down, it is a handoff to Taylor. And Taylor slides down to the 30-yard line. Great open field tackle made for Texas State, but there's a penalty marker back at the 30-yard line.
This is going to back them up. It'll be interesting. Do they take the penalty, or I would think they do, and sort of back them up and back them up in field position, because this is going to go against Troy. It would be 4th down. There's no question. It'd be 4th and 4 from the 31. So you got that decision to make. Do you back them up and give them another chance on 3rd down, or you make them go for 4th down?
Craig Royal Jr. on that open field tackle for the Bobcats.
Holding, offense, number 14, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Yeah, they take the penalty and back them up and take them out of field goal range, but bounces to the outside. You think right here he's got a chance, Brent, to take it out. Stumbles a little bit, but you see the hole right there in front of him. Right when he was trying to make that move and stumbled. Now 3rd and long.
He's gone from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 14. The Trojans have to reach the 27 to keep the drive going. 3-man rush, 8 in coverage. Kilcrease over the middle, caught by the tight end Connor. Well short of the 1st down, dropped to the 32, but it now makes 4th down manageable here for Troy.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to kick a field goal. I think they're going to go for it here. That's exactly what they're going to do. They've had some success with some crossers. They don't go to some type of crosser across the field here.
Troy
4 wide receivers here.
Has gone for it on 4th down 8 times over the last 2 games. They converted 6 of them. 4th down and 5. Here's a blitz. Kilcrease hits Higgins. He gets hit by Nolan, but the 2nd effort, and he's got the 1st down.
What a 2nd effort. You're exactly right. Where he caught the ball and the contact, he was going to be short of the line to gain. Right here on a little slant right there, but watch his 2nd effort. Leads and just gets enough to get the 1st down.
4th down conversion keeps the drive going for Troy. 11 play the drive coming up. It's eaten up over 5 minutes. 1st down and 10. Here's another blitz. Kilcrease fires over the middle to Connor. And the Trojans are inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line.
Got to give this offensive line some credit for Troy. They've faced back-to-back blitzes and held up both times, and given their quarterback an opportunity to deliver the football and get a 1st down.
Kilcrease getting into a rhythm right now for Troy. 9 of 12 passing, $137 and a score. He's feeling it with his Trojans on the move. 1st down for the 12, empty backfield for the junior quarterback. Kilcrease going to flip that complete. Down to the 5-yard line is Mothershed.
I think that was a design run, and he just saw that he couldn't go anywhere, and he just flipped it. Good thing offensive lineman worked down the field and made something out of nothing there.
Some improv there from Kilcrease, product out of Brantley, Alabama. We played at a 1A high school, won a state title there, Brantley. His graduating class, 33 people.
Wow. 6-man football.
2nd down and 3. Brantley under center. Going to hand it off to Connor on the tight end sweep. Turns a corner, but he is shoved out of the 5-yard line. Bobcats, great pursuit defensively. Lead of the charge, Traylon Payne, and it's 3rd down.
Tried a little misdirection, but a nice job on the outside of just staying with it. Boy, massive amount of people there, can get a first down without a touchdown here.
And keep this in mind, too. Down 21 points. Troy's got 2 downs.
Yeah,
to convert.
I don't think they're settling for 3 now.
Field goals will not win this game. The Trojans have eaten up nearly half the quarter on this drive.
Take a timeout here.
And they will. Timeout called by Troy with the 14th play of the drive coming up. Trojans faced with 3rd and 3 inside the 5-yard line. Back after this from San Marcos. Another big crowd on hand here at UFCU Stadium for what is homecoming weekend at Texas State. Some of the facts for homecoming. Here's San Marcos. This is the 82nd all-time homecoming game. The Bobcats playing for their 50th win. Their first ever homecoming game more than 100 years ago, back in 1904. If you look at the record, there's been one tie. The final against Coronel College that year, 0-0.
That was a good defensive struggle, wasn't it?
Right, defense was great that night. Tonight, a little bit of a different story. All offense so far been fairly one-sided with Texas State on top 28-7, but Troy has accomplished a couple of things on this drive so far. One, on the doorstep for points, but 2, they've kept that offense of the Bobcats off the field with this long extended drive.
No question. The best defense is a great offense, and that's exactly what they're doing right here, but huge play here on 3rd down.
Under center goes Kilcrease, and he's got the first down to the 1-yard line.
Wow, how about he saw that? That's a guy really has great awareness. He changed that. He was in the shotgun. He walked up and saw that there was nobody over the center, sort of hit his backup center. I mean, because it's not the starter, because he left the game. Said, hey, we're going to run the quarterback sneak, and gets the first down. Really well done right there.
15th play of the drive coming up. And this has been one of the longest drives of the year for Troy. Meadows in the backfield on 1st and goal. Before the snap whistles blow, false start coming up against Troy.
Boy, that's nothing that frustrates you more.
Number 14, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It's a second
Get a
penalty of
first
the
and
drive
goal
against
at the
Connor.
2, and then they get backed up.
That's the 3rd penalty of the series for the Trojans, and despite that, here they are. Goal to go to the 7. So far, Kilcrease 6 of 7 passing on the drive. High formation here for Troy. Old school football with the Bobcats winning their throwbacks. Here's a pass, and it's caught. Into the end zone go the Trojans for the touchdown. What a drive for Troy. Catch from Jackson Worley. That caps off a 15-play drive.
Well, a great play action. You just got through talking about old school, Brandon, being in the I formation. They run the fake out of the I, a bootleg out, get Worley out on the corner, pitch and catch to culminate, one of the drives of the year. Take it all the way down the field, and now all of a sudden they have the time of possession on their side, does Troy, with this extra point pending.
15 plays, 75 yards, 7 minutes, 34 seconds off the clock. Another pre-snap penalty. It's before the point after from Scott Taylor Renfro.
Ball start, kicking team number 74. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
It's now back-to-back scoring drives for the Trojans. The first one was lightning quick. Able to score in 78 seconds. This time using about half the second quarter. As they go 75 for the score. Second touchdown pass of the night for Tucker Kilcrease. And the Trojans are starting to build some momentum. Kilcrease engineering a long drive for the Trojans. Able to hook up with Worley. It's a 2-score game here in San Marcos. 28-14 Texas State. You're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. We saw a 15-inning marathon in a classic between the Mariners and Tigers in baseball. We saw a 15-play drive for the Troy Trojans, a lengthy one covering 75 yards, more than 7.5 minutes. And with that, it's now a 2-score game. Once down 21, lead out of 14. Back-to-back scoring drives for the Trojans. And the kickoff to be returned by Jenkins from the goal line. Jenkins across the 25 and wrapped up at the 30-yard line by Hodge.
There is a flag on the play.
Texas State coming out on offense here. And we'll see where they start after the penalty.
They're going to be back deep. This flag is at the 15-yard line, be half the distance of the goal line.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, receiving team number 18. Half the distance to the goal line, first down.
Third penalty of the game against Texas State, and the second one is special teams.
Yeah, illegal blindside block, but he didn't see it coming.
They'll look at Jordan Stringer for the Trojans. Coaching staff calling him the head of the snake. With this Troy defense, everything defensively goes through Stringer.
He's just such a good player. He does so many different things. He can get tackles for losses. He can be in coverage. Does a lot of things.
First down from their own 9. First down play to number 9, Burrell. There is Stringer on the tackle for Troy. And one of the few times that the Trojans defensively have won first down in this game.
Yeah, you're right. And they've could get great field position if they can force a 3 and out right now and get themselves right back in this ball game.
You see Stringer wearing that C on his jersey. One of the captains for Troy. Second down and 9. Jackson, quick pass to Sparks on the screen. Banged it out of bounds at around the 15-yard line by Jaquez White. And Texas State now looking at third down and 4.
Yeah, this is a big conversion. You think, well, you dominated the first half, 28 points on the board in the first quarter. Well, all of a sudden, if you don't get this first down and get some more time off this clock, you're going to turn it right back over to the Trojans.
The way the Bobcats have run the ball, you would think a run is still a possibility here on 3rd and 4. Bat snap to Jackson, bobbles it, recovers, and takes off. How about that play? Jackson all the way to the 35, gains 20 on a broken play.
Just fortunate to secure the football. Watch him bat it 3 or 4 times to control it. 1, 2, 3, and then he just puts it down. And that's making something out of nothing right there for the first down.
The Bobcats 6 for 7 on 3rd down now the game. Jackson, all kinds of time, and now he runs out. Going to be hit and drops right at the 34-yard line.
Just doesn't look like a redshirt freshman. Watch him right here. A lot of times you'll see guys panic and put it up. No, let's put it down and get what we can get and live to play another down and protect the football. Exactly what he did right there.
Cam Curry on the tackle there for Troy. Sets up second down and 10 inside of 6 minutes to go. Texas State's first possession of the second quarter. After that dynamite first quarter, blitz from Troy. Burrell on the run, rips off another big run. Burrell into the secondary and down to the 48. First down, Texas State.
It's blasted right here, right in the middle, but a nice blocking up front. Gets to that second level, and he gets blasted right there on the football. They try to rip it out, holds on to it, and gets the first down.
Bobcats sitting on more than 320 yards of offense in the half. Over 200 yards on the ground. They'll keep it on the ground to Burrell, looking for a hole. Closes up as he's dropped at midfield after a gain of 3.
I love the patience of running backs. Burrell does a nice job there. Doesn't see a hole at the point of attack. Just finds a way to bleed it to the outside and get 4 yards on the play. Make it a manageable second down.
Got to look there, Jamal Williams, senior out of Carver Ranches, Florida. Going to check out here for Troy. They've had so many great bandit ends over the years. Richard Jubinor comes to mind, a part of that championship team of Troy's a couple of years ago. Play fake, pass over the middle, Sparks makes a move in the open field and dropped inside the 30-yard line. First down, Texas State, as Sparks hauls it in.
Well, it's really nice RPO right here. And he just pulls it out, does Jackson, finds Sparks on a quick slant, and right back to the line of scrimmage.
Timeout taken by the Trojans. And right now this defense is trying to catch its breath.
Well, they've been running up and down the field. It's a hot evening, but I think I like what you're saying, their breath. But this is not because they're tired. It's because they have just been overwhelmed with little RPO plays, and they have just been off balance. You can tell they haven't been aggressive just because of what the Texas State Bobcats have done to them offensively. They just hit them so quickly with so many different varieties of runs and passes that they're just on their heels. You play defense with instinct, and boy, right now they're thinking, and when you think on defense, you're in trouble.
Jared Parker talking to his team, second year as Trojan head coach. Was the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame before taking over at Troy. A lot of experience for Jared Parker, the Power 4 level, stops at West Virginia, Penn State. Sun Belt, but down by a couple of scores here. The Bobcats again on the move. Jackson puts the ball on the turf and then takes his shots. Tackle from Donnie Smith. That's a loss of 4.
Yeah, that mesh this time between Perry and Jackson did not go well. I think Jackson thought he was putting it in there, but they just didn't get a good mesh. Ball comes out, and now a negative play on first down.
Ninth play of the drive coming up for Texas State began all the way back at their own 9-yard line. Under 4 to go in the quarter. Jackson surveys the defense, going through progressions. Now we'll tuck and run, and there might have been a face mask there. The sideline looking for it, but the flag doesn't come in.
I tell you what, there was no question it was. Watch at the end of this play, folks, as he gets to the outside. Watch his head turn right there. There's no question that was a face mask.
Joe Locke clearly got the face mask there, and G.J. Kenny not happy with the non-call. Instead of a first down, now the Bobcats looking at 3rd down and 12. Jackson over the middle to Perry, and he stopped short of the 20-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and 5.
Clock's running here. I think they'll go to field goal here. Take as much down here. Time off the clock. Get set up. Get this field goal attempt.
Tyler Robles. And will attempt from 42 yards away. 5 of 6 in field goals this year. Of course, had that critical extra point miss last week in Jonesboro. Kick is on its way, and Robles is able to connect from 42 yards out. That'll build the lead at 31-14 with 2.5 to go.
It was a good drive to come back down the field. Obviously, the negative play on the exchange, on the running play on 2nd and 5 or 6, it made it 3rd and long, and couldn't convert that. Turns into a field goal. So if you're Troy, you got to look at it defensively. Well, we didn't get a stop, but we kept them out of the end zone. They've got some time here with 2:35 to go and 1 timeout left for Troy.
For Texas State, 11 plays in the drive, 68 yards. Drive went about 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 53 seconds to be exact. So in the second quarter, after so many first quarter possessions, we've seen 2 so far.
Yeah, and you're right. We're staring at more than 500 yards of total offenses from these 2 clubs in this first half at this point.
Epps back to return the kick. James has not given him a chance to return one tonight. And that streak continues as Epps watches it bounce into the end zone.
1 timeout and the 2-minute timeout. See how the Trojans want to come out and get this started. They want to run the football. They only have 23 yards rushing here in this first half.
When you fall behind by 3 scores, it really changes your game plan in a hurry.
It has to.
You see Thomas split out wide for Troy, had that big 57-yard catch for a score back in the first quarter. Good numbers so far for Kilcrease, 11 of 14 passing. And able to connect here with Higgins. Hauls in his 3rd catch tonight and wrapped up by Nolan after a gain of 3.
Good open field tackle by Nolan, the safety, coming down and making that play.
There's Kilcrease facing the pressure, able to escape, and Kilcrease will dive forward to the 30-yard line. 3rd down coming up for Troy, and it'll come after the 2-minute timeout. Pressure was coming from Cameron Washington. Kilcrease able to get away, and with that, Troy looking at 3rd down and 5. Trailing 31-14. Final 2 minutes of the first half coming up. You're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. we go for Troy. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Looking to engineer a late drive, build some momentum going into the locker rooms. Kilcrease. Alpha pump fake, harassed and throws it away. Tremendous downfield coverage from Texas State secondary, and Kilcrease couldn't find anybody open.
The other part of that is Texas State got pressure, and they did it with 3. And to have a Bobcat down on the turf, but they get pressure with 3, dropped 8 into coverage, nowhere to go with the football because of the pressure. Going to get a chance here with 1 timeout to get the football back, or the Bobcats.
That official explaining that Troy, or Texas State rather, will not be charged with timeouts. The clock has already stopped here.
Yeah, and that's a rule that I quite frankly don't understand, but it is there. If that would have been a running play and stopped short, Texas State would have lost their timeout with an injured player. Doesn't quite make sense to me, but you're exactly right. You explained the rule perfectly.
I believe that's Cameron Washington.
I agree,
coming off for Texas State.
Numbers.
Number got kind of scrunched up there. Washington started all 6 games for the Bobcats this season, including tonight.
You just tuned in. Bo Sparks took one back that was called back for a touchdown earlier in the ballgame.
Due to a penalty on an illegal blindside block. Sparks back to return this punt from Crenshaw. And Sparks, the catch of the 20, and spun out of the sidelines right there.
Great putt, great coverage that time from Troy. That's a big-time punt.
You pull up Texas State's drives so far tonight. 5 possessions, 5 scores. The first 4 were touchdowns, the other a field goal. And so far, if you're David Nunez, a punter, it's been a pretty easy night of the office.
Yeah, it has been, but you know, they haven't had short fields. These have all been long, extended drives. They may have come quickly. I don't mean to make that sound like they're all big, long play drives, but
Jackson quick pass to Sparks, able to escape a tackle from Stringer, but Stringer is able to lasso him down to the 21. And you bring up a good point, Keith. You would think 31 points in the half as you look back at the catch here from Sparks, that there would have been short fields, but the shortest drive tonight has been 55 yards. The offense has been doing this the hard way. Jackson over the middle and short hop that throw to Dawn. That'll bring up a rare 3rd and long for Texas State.
This becomes important right here. Troy still has a timeout, and if you don't get a first down, you're going to need a good punt and good punt coverage. Trojans may have a chance to find a way to get some points right here before half.
Good night tonight so far for Jackson. 11 of 13 passing for buck 34. Back to pass here. Steps up, and Jackson takes a shot from Stringer. The Trojans front 7 get to Jackson this time.
Got to take a timeout. I believe they do.
And this play here, a product of Troy winning 1st and 2nd down on defense.
No question, they do take that timeout. I thought, well, you wouldn't let that much clock go off, but winning 1st down just puts you in so much different category. You look up as a defensive player, and I'm an ex-defensive player. When you line up and you're 2nd and 5, I'm defending 5 yards, I have real trouble. But if you look up and it's 2nd and 10, 2nd and 12, I get a negative play, then all of a sudden you get the 3rd down. A lot of times you're protecting 8 or 9 yards, and it's just difficult to make it. But now going to have to punt it away, looking for a big return. Troy will get the ball here with no timeouts left, a little bit over a minute to go in the half.
It's been a solid 2nd quarter for Troy after Texas State absolutely dominated the first. Trojans offensively had that one long scoring drive. They held the Bobcats. They've held them out of the end zone so far to this point of the quarter, and now forcing a 3 and out on defense. Nunez punting for the first time. A lot of hang time here, a flag and the fair catch made by Higgins at the 45, with a penalty back at the 37-yard line.
This could be holding in the middle of the kick that could back up Troy to the 35-yard line. See what the call is here.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 10. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. It's first down.
That really helps that kick. They're going to have to start at the 35. They've got to make somewhere around 30 yards to make this a manageable field goal attempt with no timeouts.
Penalty against Jabari Strait. That'll mark the ball back to 35. We'll see how Kilcrease does in the 2-minute drill here. A minute 11 to work with no timeouts. Here comes the pass rush. Kilcrease steps up and fires incomplete at midfield, looking for Epps.
Just had that dirty pocket. You were talking about the pressure coming and wanted to step in, couldn't step in and deliver that football on time. If you can't make out of bounds or a first down to stop the clock, you're better off with an incomplete pass to save time on that clock.
Texas State defensively had 5 sacks against Jalen Rayner last week. They've yet to sack Kilcrease tonight. And he's looked rather comfortable throwing the football. 12 of 17, 154 yards and a couple of touchdowns. 2nd and 10. 3-man rush. Kilcrease has a man inside of midfield to the 45. Goes Higgins on a first down.
Yeah, 25-yard pass play. Found that little seam. Higgins again shows up. Really nice route, pitch and catch. Now ready to go.
Clock inside of a minute left. Kilcrease well protected. He can run it now. Kilcrease inside the 40. Going to slide there, give himself up, but didn't get a first down, so the clock will keep ticking. Again, the Trojans out of timeouts. From the Texas State 40, Kilcrease to the sidelines. Epps. First down, Troy nearing the red zone.
No, great route. Sold it to the inside, came back to the outside without safety help. And great pitch and catch and gets out of bounds. And now 3 is a given and pretty much, or at least a field goal attempt's given. Now you got to protect the end zone. Can you find a way to make this? This would be a marvelous drive to end the quick because they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Are the Trojans?
Clock stop at 20 seconds to go. Trojans at the 23. Kilcrease, blitz coming. Law for that in the end zone. There's a lot of contact. Mothershed, the intended receiver. It looked like Kamari Terrell was grabbing the shoulder pad of Mothershed, but no flag against Texas State.
Right. He definitely was. He pulled the uniform off of his shoulder and no call. I mean, he had a hold of his deal. That's a break right there.
Well, yeah, that's huge for Texas State. And Keith, you broke that down perfectly. The shoulder pad is exposed to Mothershed. Yeah, clearly there was holding. 2nd down and 10. That last play only took 5 seconds to off the clock. Kilcrease, pressure coming, and Kilcrease taken down. And the clock will keep ticking.
You're going to have to spike this ball quickly. You can't run a play to get any kind of field goal attempt. You're going to have to hurry.
On Terry Russell the sack, and Kilcrease will spike the football with 5 seconds to go.
First sack of the night comes at a huge time. As you can see him spin to the outside, almost gets out of it, and he's down. And then you can see him just telling everybody, let's go. Gets the ball to the official. And at least they get an opportunity, albeit a 50-yard plus opportunity.
This will be 52 yards. Scott Taylor Renfro, his career long is 50. Timeout taken by Texas State.
3rd and final charge, timeout, Texas State. Could be a 30.
And actually, Troy's going to send out a different kicker. Now, Renfro is the place kicker for Troy, a veteran. who has made 33 field goals in his career and has the third highest percentage in terms of field goals made in team history. But because of leg strength, it's Patty McAteer that's come out here for Troy.
You see this a lot in college football, where you have a guy that you feel like is your long-range field goal kicker. I'm going to put this down at the 53.
The punter, Crenshaw on the hold. The snap coming from Colton Walls. 52-yard attempt coming for McAteer. Make it 53. A right-footed kick headed towards the uprights, and that kick is good. Patty McAteer nails it from 53 to draw the Trojans to within 14.
Well, it's just a great job of time management, even though they had to overcome a sack, but they found a way to make this a 2-possession game here. Just a really nice job. They came after him right here. This is the big play that kept him out of the end zone, but just a great job of management right here as a team, getting everybody back, getting the ball spiked, and then a 53-yarder that makes it a 14-point halftime lead.
Bobcats 31 at Trojans 17. Halftime coverage coming up. Back after this from UFCU Stadium. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place as you look at the score at the half, 31-17, Texas State on top. At the break on homecoming weekend. With the all-new ESPN app, you can unlock with ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Also be sure to be on the lookout for more coverage of Texas State athletics and the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN Plus, including our upcoming telecast of the Jim West Challenge for the Kissing Tree Golf Club on October 19th and 20th, only on ESPN Plus. Texas State on top here at the half from UFCU Stadium. Trojans will get the football to start the third quarter. Keep that in mind. A Trojan team building momentum as the first half wound down to a close. Let's talk a little bit more about the Sun Belt Conference and the weekly honorees. Offensive Player of the Week honors. Keith, a player the Bobcats saw last week, Jalen Rader, was superb for the Red Wolves.
Oh, he was just fantastic, especially on that last drive to go down the field and the extra point to win the ballgame.
So Jalen Rader, Offensive Player of the Week for the Red Wolves. Defensive Player of the Week, we've seen him tonight, Devin Lafayette for Troy, 19 tackles last week.
Well, he's just all over the field. He's a guy that can make so many different plays. They can put him in so many different areas. I just think that right down at the bottom, 16th most in conference history. That's a bunch of tackles.
And the special teams player of the week, Dominic DeFreitas from Appalachian State, and the Mountaineers win over Oregon State.
Yeah, that was a huge win. 3 for 3 in those extra points. Everybody doesn't understand how important it is to hit those PATs.
Including a key 49-yard field goal as well in that victory over the Beavers in Boone, North Carolina. We'll talk more about the Sun Belt. Take a look at the scores around the SBC in Week 7. Our score, Texas State 31, Troy 17. Back with more halftime coverage after this on ESPN+. On top, a very explosive first half. Texas State specifically in the first quarter, scoring 28 first quarter points and racking up 350 yards of offense in the first half. As we look around the Sun Belt Conference, some of the scores here in Week 7. On Thursday, Southern Miss, a road win over Georgia Southern, 38-35. JMU defeating Louisiana. How about Marshall taking down an Old Dominion team which is playing really well, but the Thundering Herd win that one 48-24.
Well, I tell you what, you have to go to Huntington and play that game, and Texas State's got to make their way over there. That is a tough place to win a ball game.
Appalachian State going to Atlanta and beating Georgia State on the road, 41-20. Mountaineers playing good football as of late, of course. Last week beating Oregon State at home. And right now a 2-score game in Conway between ULM and Coastal Carolina early in the fourth quarter from Spring Brooks Stadium. Our score, Texas State 31, Troy 17. We'll take a look at the first half highlights and the stats after this on ESPN+. Homecoming King receiving his coronation from University President Kelly Damphousse on this. Back inside the broadcast here at UFC Stadium alongside Keith Borland. I'm Brent Freeman. You look back at the first half, Keith, and really was a tale of two quarters. Texas State so explosive, so dominant in the first quarter, but Troy got no way to climb back into the game.
No question about that. You're right. Giving up big plays was a major part of the first quarter, and the Bobcats just jumped out, put 28 on the board. In the second quarter, you just look at what Troy did. They did a nice job. You could see early in the game, Jackson gets into the end zone. It was just big play after big play after big play, but here come the Trojans to get back into the game, and they get back with a long pass for a touchdown. At that point, it makes it 28-7.
That was Ra Thomas at a 57-yard touchdown pass from Kilcrease, then engineering a 15-play drive, throwing his second touchdown pass of the night. But then, Keith, again, you talk about Texas State, and what a night for Lincoln Perry.
Yeah, Lincoln Perry with 2 touchdown runs. This one, the big one, where he busted open and takes it to the house. It was all about explosive plays in that first half for Texas State. Actually, in the first quarter, because the second quarter, it came back, and then a 53-yarder to close out the scoring in the first half. And we're in a 2-possession game. Trojans will get the football to start the second half.
There, look at the homecoming king and queen with Kelly Dampus, sporting the cowboy hat tonight, and Boca also wearing his throwbacks here this evening. And a big crowd on hand. Last time the Bobcats were here at home had more than 30,000 in attendance. And the win over Nichols. So 31-17, 2-score game. And we're going to see Troy on offense to start in the second half. This is a window of opportunity here for the Trojans to make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, and they've got to be balanced. They want to run the football. When you look at the numbers, it's an explosive first half. There were 558 yards by both clubs. So let's start with that. Most of it's been through the air for Troy. On the other side for Texas State, most of that's come on the ground. But Troy's got to be more balanced. Their DNA, as I've said many times in this broadcast already, is about running the football. So they need to come out and be balanced here in this first drive and come away with 6.
Also part of the DNA has been the resiliency of this Troy team. They've come from behind before to win football games this season. Twice overcoming double-digit deficits. They've trailed by as many as 21 tonight. It is a 2-score game now. As we take a look at the first half numbers here, and Keith, driving the point home, you'd mentioned the disparity in how these two teams have moved the football. Look at the rushing yardage for the Bobcats compared to Troy's. Yet for Kilcrease, almost 200 yards passing in the first half.
Yeah, and that's not their style, but the big number, they have struggled all year on third down. They're 1 for 6, but that's about not winning first down.
Bobcats, meanwhile, excellent on third down, and both teams protected the football in the first half. No turnovers for either team. Kilcrease 14 of 20 passing, couple of scores in the first half. Starting from his own 25. Opening play of the third quarter, it's Meadows on the run, and Meadows wrapped up. Jordan Sanders on the tackle there for Texas State. Going to drop him for a loss. Make it Bryce Carter, and it's second down and long.
Yeah, trying to get a little deception with the motion in the backfield. Unusual lineup here. Look at this formation.
Second down and 12. Empty backfield for Kilcrease. Quick screen to Meadows, and Meadows going to dart ahead for just a few. Khalil Alexander along with Aiden Jones will tackle, and Troy looking at third and long.
Well, this flag came in from way back. Back judge come flying in, and now they're having a conversation. Usually when a flag comes in that direction, it is a face mask or something on the defensive side of the ball, because holding or pushing the back would have come from the official right there in front of it. There's a long discussion here.
Two teams combined for 8 penalties in the first half. 5 for Troy, 3 for Texas State. 2 of those for the Bobcats coming on special teams.
Well, this is going to be holding.
Holding. Offense. Penalties decline. It's third down.
We'll get a chance to look at replay. He catches the ball right here. Yeah, right there, right there. You can see the hook and holding on right there. But it came from the back judge way behind the field. The guy right there in front of it didn't see it.
It was against Worley, who caught one of the touchdowns for Troy back in the first half. 3rd and 11. As G.J. Kinney declined the penalty. Kilcrease well protected. Now the protection breaks down, and down goes Kilcrease. Second sack tonight for Dontari Russell, and Troy goes 3 and out.
Russell just does a great job of exploding to the outside. And there's a flag in the secondary. This is going to maybe.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 18. 10-yard penalty. That's an automatic first down.
Costly penalty against Texas State extends the drive for Troy.
Well, sometimes sacks come from holding, because as a quarterback you see Your guy starting to break open, and he gets ripped down or ripped to the ground, and he had nowhere to go with the ball. But let's start this all over. But that was a costly, costly penalty against the Bobcats.
Charge of Craig Royal Jr. Look at Texas State defensive coordinator Dexter McCoyle. After his defense extends a drive with a flag on 3rd down. Meadows on the run had a very quiet first half. Had a quiet game so far. 6 carries, a little more than 10 yards. That's been it for Meadows.
Just did such a good job. And the defensive front has held up tonight for Texas State. They just not have allowed a consistent running game all night long.
Gilchrist taking over at starting quarterback. Early on in the season, following the shoulder injury to Goose Crowder, Troy is hopeful they can get him back at some point this year. Got hurt in the game against Memphis. It is a play fake and a pass that is incomplete for Thomas with a penalty back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Bobcats lined up off sides, and so this is going to be a free 5 yards. Lined up in the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense, number 12, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Penalty against Texas State, and there is a player down as well. Looking at the play right now, it is a Bobcat. It's Ryan Nolan, helped up to his feet, and Nolan looks to be okay, heading back to the sidelines. A very important part of Texas State's defense. Second leading tackler, one of the captains in the defense as well.
And he gets those guys lined up in the right spot.
Opening drive on the 3rd.
Sloppy play here to start the 2nd half. See, one team can find themselves here now.
2nd down and 3. Meadows on the run, got cut down to the 40-yard line. Good tackle there for the Bobcats, preventing Meadows from getting out of space. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Just shoots the gap, just does an outstanding job. Lange just shoots through there, makes the tackle, but this is a more manageable 3rd down. It's not 3rd and long, it's 3rd and short.
That's Amapalasi Longi. Executive transfer out of Houston, making the tackle there for Texas State. 3rd down and 4. Trojans for the game. 1 of 6 and 3rd down. Here's the blitz. Gilchrist steps up and throws. Got the tight end Cotter. And the Trojans move the chains near midfield.
Well, you got to stay in there if you're a quarterback and you know you're going to get hit. Just really nice job of delivering this football. You can see it from right here. He's going to take a blow. Just lays it to his tight end, and tight end gets the 1st down at almost to midfield.
At one point, it was 21-0 Texas State, 28-7 Bobcats. Trojans have crawled back in it, looking for a scoring drive here to make it a 1-score game. Bobcats bringing another blitz. Gilchrist steps up, aiming it deep. Got a man, Epps, wide open. Epps can't keep his footing, but does haul it in out of bounds inside the 5.
There is a flag down at about the 32-yard line in the secondary. Let's see what this call is.
Let's go. 48-yard play if it stands.
Looks like it is.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. Half the distance to the goal line from the end of the run. 1st down.
And that ends the Trojans closer to the goal line.
No, it's half the distance in the goal. But this is a busted coverage. This is one of those in the outside. Somebody went to the inside, took the wrong way, and you can just see wide open on the outside and just down inside the 5-yard line with the half the distance. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2, inside the 2. What a good opening drive for Troy.
7th play of the drive coming up. Gilchrist has been great tonight for Troy. Hands off, right up the middle. Jordan Loving to the end zone. And here come the Trojans and make that Jarris Williams into the end zone for Troy. Only his second carry all year.
That's just an outstanding opening drive. Got exactly what they wanted. Took the ball, went down the field, and put it in the end zone and make it a one-possession game. Extra point pending.
7-play, 75-yard drive. And 3.5 minutes. Renfro for the point after. And don't look now, but here come the men of Troy. Once down 21, it's a 7-point game. Tucker Kilcrease hook it up with DJ Epps. Leads the touchdown from Jarris Williams. We got a ball game here at UFCU Stadium. 31-24, Texas State. This one looked like Texas State was going to run away, literally, in the first half of this game. Bobcats led 28-7 going into the second quarter, but then Troy engineered that long touchdown drive, and it has since sparked them back into the game, coming off another long drive to open up this third quarter, and now is 31-24, what was once a 21-point game, down to 7. Jalen Jenkins back to return for Texas State. And it's a surprise onside kick, and the Trojans recover. Epps has got it at the 41-yard line. Make it Perry for Troy.
Well, sudden change. It was a line drive. He was trying to kick
Moving
it
on the field is the kick.
but he
Hit
hammered
a
it.
player
And
of
there's
the
just no way
receiving team.
to be able to
covered by a
catch
player
that
of the
ball.
kicking team. First down, Troy.
Traveled 10 yards, and it just bounces off. And just like that, possession right back in their hands, and with a chance to go down and tie this football. I mean, it was smoked. It's not really an onside kick. It was more of a squib. I mean, a liner, and he just knocked it off a player, and it goes 10 yards in the first down.
It hit so sharply off that Bobcat, It went right back to the Trojans. Perry able to recover. And here comes Troy. First down with the 41. Meadows on the run and a good first down carry. Meadows breaking out of tackles, firing up that Trojan sideline, good for 9 yards and first down.
Yeah, all the momentum on the Troy sideline right now. Excellent first down play. That makes it a very manageable second down.
Give him 8 there. Second down and 2 coming up for the Trojans. Trying to capitalize off the surprise onside kick. Gilcrease back to pass. Lofting one down the sidelines and a catch. Epps hauls it in again inside the 20.
Just great vision and ball skills to go find the football. What a perfect throw. Back shoulder to the sidelines. Allow your receiver to go find it. He does find it, goes up, high points it, and comes down with it.
Well, Gilcrease has been excellent tonight for Troy. These throws have been right on the money. Epps now over 100 yards for the game. Trojans in the red zone. Play fake, Gilcrease. Pressure coming, and down he goes. Big sack there for Texas State's Traylon Payne. Back to Trojans up to the 23.
Yeah, they were trying to get the tight end down into the corner with a little misdirection, but the pressure just gets to him before he can get rid of the football. They got the tight end rolling out right there, right in the corner, trying to get it. He's running open, but no chance to get rid of the football.
It looked like he had Meadows open to the flat too, out near the sideline, but Gilcrease never saw him. Loss of 4 in the sack. Texas State second tonight. On second down, long handoff, Meadows. And it is Longy again for the Bobcats, making a couple of plays here in the third quarter.
2 tackles for losses, the sack, and TFL now third and almost 15 here.
Longy to the sidelines for the Bobcats. Pass rushing package in now for Texas State. Third down at 14. Under 9 to go in the third. Gilcrease with 8 in coverage. Steps up. Gilcrease goes down again. A 3-man rush, enough to get to Gilcrease, and it brings up fourth down.
Well, that's a coverage sack. Brant, great job in the secondary. Know where to go with the football past the sticks and finally get to him. It's going to lead to a field goal attempt.
You see that Tymier Jackson has come back into the game for the Bobcats. Saw him come out earlier. It was Jackson, not Washington, who got banged up for Texas State. Renfro out to attempt from 47 yards away. And this kick is on target. Renfro nails his 34th career field goal, makes it a 4-point game. A little more than 8 minutes to go here in the third. Texas State 31, Trojans 27 here in San Marcos. and welcome back to UFC Stadium on homecoming night here at Texas State. Bobcats once up 21. That lead has been sliced out of 4, 31-27 after the field goal drive for the Trojans. Drive ending on a 47-yard connection from Scott Taylor Renfro. And Troy could not turn the onside kick into a touchdown, but they did turn it into points.
Yeah, they did turn it into points. It was a strange alignment. Again, it's not your normal onside kick. He blasted it. It just hit off a Bobcat defender.
This time McAteer will kick it deep. And Jenkins will take it out about 6 yards deep into the end zone. Jenkins across the 20. Jenkins breaks a tackle. And out across the 35 he goes. So Texas State coming up its first possession of the third quarter. And Keith, maybe they want to feed the ball more to Lincoln Perry.
Yeah, you just look at it. He's almost 95 yards or 94 yards a game. He's 8th and 5.7 yards per carry. I can't imagine there's 7 better than that anywhere in the Sun Belt Conference, but that's pretty impressive. He has been good again tonight.
10 carries, 79 yards, a couple of touchdowns with Perry, including a 62-yard gallop. And right on cue, Perry, the first offensive play for the Bobcats in the third quarter. And down to the 35 after a gain of 5 yards.
They would like to go in a hurry here, and they're right back. Get back in that NASCAR mode. Get this offense back rolling.
2nd and 5 for Jackson. Gives to Perry again. And shuffles forward for a first down across the 40. Good physical run to the 44. Gain of 9.
This offensive line winning the line of scrimmage for Texas State.
Closing in on his third 100-yard game of the season. And Perry to midfield. That'll put him right around 97 yards for the night.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to get 100. Even though he's coming out of the game here.
Bobcats coming into the night 14th nationally in rushing offense at more than 230 yards a game, and right now they're sitting on 233. Greg Burrell checks into the backfield here. Sparks also in the backfield with Jackson. And before the snap, and a penalty coming up against Texas State.
Full start, offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
You get down in that stance, and there was a lot of confusion and things going on in the backfield, Brant. And as an offensive lineman, you get down and get set to go. It's just hard to sit there and hold and hold and hold. And they were down in a stance for a good 10 to 15 seconds, so ends up costing them 5 yards. And now behind the chains, it's 2nd and long.
Penalty against Justin DeLeon, sophomore lineman from Kingsville, Texas. Now 2nd down and 11. Burrell on the ground. No, it's Jackson, the keeper, and bolts ahead inside of midfield. 2nd down play makes 3rd down manageable for Texas State.
Really nice read here on the zone read. He's reading it right there, and he just bolts to the outside, gets a good lead block out in front into Troy territory.
Tackle to the play by Catledge. Now 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 9. Burrell remains in the backfield. Handoff to him, and Burrell stonewalled. Sent back. He'll be short on the first down. Big tackle there for the Trojans from Jermaine Paramore.
He gets penetration. I might have lost a half a yard there. Going for it here on 4th down.
4th down and 2. This will be the second 4th down attempt for Texas State tonight. If they don't get it, Troy with the momentum takes over in midfield. Jackson on the keeper, and Jackson spun around, and at the marker he looks to have just enough. He needed the 46, and he got the 46-yard line. 1st down.
What a huge play. And good tackle right at the point of the line to gain, and doing backwards, but does get enough for the 1st down, and now here comes the Bobcats going quickly.
On 1st down, it's Burrell, and Burrell finds a crease, turns a corner, takes off again. Burrell inside the 10, Burrell to the end zone. What a night. Touchdown, Greg Burrell.
Just an outstanding run. Breaking tackles the whole way, and then how about the tiptoe along the sidelines to stay in bounds and get it to the house.
Burrell has had touchdown runs of 59
Coming on the field was a touchdown.
Yards.
Previous plays under further review.
All touchdowns or all plays are reviewed each and every time. See if he was able to tiptoe down that sideline and get in.
It's our first review of the night. Let's see if he stays in bounds.
Does a nice job bouncing it to the outside right here. Changing sides, almost lost the football, and then right here, he cuts it back to the inside. He's in bounds, right there.
Steps out of the 6.
That's the 6-yard line.
This is going to come back. It'll
After review, runner was out of bounds at the 6-yard line. It'll be first down at that location.
All right, so for Burrell, instead of 46 yards, settles for 40, but another explosive run for this offense, nearing 300 yards rushing in the game.
Gets the first down and ready to go. No time out here. They get the offenses back to the field to play and start this clock.
All right, play the drive coming up for Texas State. Bobcats so far in the red zone, 2 trips and a couple of touchdowns. From the 6, Burrell. Why not give it to him? And Burrell will muscle his way to the 2-yard line at a gain of 4.
Some emotions going on here now. It's getting a little chippy. Right back to the line of scrimmage are the Bobcats.
2nd and goal at the 2. It's Burrell again off the right side, and Burrell to the goal line. They'll say he's down inside the 1.
Again, I told you it was getting a little chippy, and which side this is going to go, but this is big.
If this is charged to Texas State, the Bobcats are looking at 3rd and goal from back around the 15. Looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties here.
A lot of discussion here. This is a huge moment. It's a dead ball foul, so whichever way it goes.
Result of the play is the runner short of the line to gain. It's 3rd down after the play. Personal foul. Defense number 7. Personal foul. Offense number 51. Those penalties cancel. Again, it's 3rd down.
That's Jordan Stringer for the Trojans and Brock Riker for Texas State. So offsetting penalties, it remains 3rd and goal. Ball inside the 1. And you have to imagine the Bobcats will have 2 chances to punch it in here. Can't see G.J. Kenny settling for a field goal if the Bobcats don't get it here on 3rd down. Don comes in motion. Jackson to Perry, 3rd time tonight. Lincoln Perry, over 100 yards, into the end zone for a 3rd time.
Just great blocking up front. Perry just slips through the hole, puts it into the end zone. Back to a 2-score ball game here, late in the 3rd quarter.
We've seen Bo Sparks have a 4-touchdown night here, and now it's Lincoln Perry, 3 scores of his own. Extends the lead to 10. Robles on with the point after to make it 11. And that'll put a bow on a 10-play, 70-yard drive, ending with a Lincoln Perry touchdown run. For the Bobcats on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns, nearly 300 yards on the ground. Running through the Trojans en route to an 11-point lead.
On the ground for the Bobcats as Greg Burrell makes a fantastic move, changes the football to his right hand, initially called a touchdown, but you can see he stepped out at the 6-yard line, and then Lincoln Perry comes in right behind him to put it into the end zone. Over 300 yards rushing in what was a must situation, it felt like, for the Bobcats to get it back to a 2-possession game here, 3:45 to go in the third quarter.
3-touchdown night for Perry gives him 8 on the year, 21 in his Texas State career. And the kick into the end zone. It'll be Trojan football down 11. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. So Perry not quite the century mark yet, but it's a matter of when, not if, for Perry tonight to hit the century mark. And the 3 rushing touchdowns as the Bobcats have racked up over 420 yards of total offense tonight.
We're 750 totally in the game, nearly.
Here's Gilcrease on 1st down and 10. And fires out one of the sidelines. Caught. Out across the 30-yard line. Ball comes out. The whistle has now blown. Washington recovers it for Texas State. The whistle never blew. And we'll see if this stands. If it is, it's the game's first turnover.
He was trying to spin and move and go forward to try to get extra yardage. Whistle did not blow. You're absolutely right.
Wheeling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down,
a
Texas
fumble
State.
and a turnover. All turnovers are reviewed. We get a chance to see this play again, but this is a gigantic moment. Pitch to the outside, really nice job coming back to the inside as he stopped his momentum, or was his tush on the ground before the ball was ripped out? It's a question. You're going to have to slow that down from that look. He was falling to the ground as it was being ripped out. There is a player down.
It was Mothershed of the catch for Troy, and this is under review.
Wheeling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Previous plays under further review.
See right here as he's going to the ground. That is awful close. And remember, the call on the field, it starts with it was called a fumble on the field.
Now, it looks like Mothershed has the ball when his knee hits. However, you see Texas State's defender, Terrence Cooks, ripping at the football, and we're kind of shielded by him on that angle. Was the ball moving at any point when Cooks is going for it? If it is moving before Mothershed hits the ground, that is a fumble. This might be a better look.
Yeah, I believe he's down before the ball comes out. I just felt like that left knee and he came to the ground. Ball was definitely did come out, but I think he was already down by contact, so to speak. That's an NFL term, but so big moment in this game. Here comes the call.
After review, the runner was down at the 35-yard line. It's a first down for Troy.
And with that, Texas State denied a turnover. It's a defense that's been starving for turnovers this year. They've only forced one all season.
And I believe that's enough for the first down, too. So that'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 Troy here.
The Bobcats have forced 40 turnovers over the last 2 seasons. The one this year tied for the fewest in the country. And just denied their seconds. First down for the 35. Kilcrease on the run. Looking for the sidelines. Takes a hit. But no whistle. After a gain of 4, that's going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, he paid for that one. He couldn't get to the sidelines in time. He's tried to stay up and got his pins knocked out from under him right as he was in the field to play, though.
Chance Johnson, along with Kamari Terrell, the tackle there for Texas State. They look at Terrell, who has the Bobcats' only turnover this year. An interception against Nichols 3 weeks ago. 2nd down and 6. Kilcrease will hand this off. And that is close to a first down for Williams, who scored early in the game for Troy.
A nice move to the outside. Gets ripped down, but very manageable 3rd down. This is going to be 3rd and about 6 inches.
And that'll bring Meadows back into the game for Troy.
They're going to sprint to the line of scrimmage here and snap it.
Kilcrease under center. Going to hand it off and a sweep to the outside. Taylor out of bounds down the sidelines at the 40.
A little jet sweep, really well done. Come to the line of scrimmage, give it to the slot back who comes in motion. Get around the corner quickly. Don't have any penetration and get the first down.
It's a great play drawn up by Sean Reagan, Trojans offensive coordinator. His 3rd different coaching stint at Troy. 2nd year under Jared Parker, 12th year overall as a coach for the Trojan program. 1st and 10 for the 40. Kilcrease. Protection breaks down, and Longy makes another play for Texas State. The sack back to the 42.
That's just a really nice job. Pressure from the outside. Nowhere to go with the football. Staying at home, tried to step it up at home. Couldn't get that done. Now it's going to be behind the chains now, 2nd and long.
Didn't see Kilcrease take many hits in the first half, but has now been sacked 4 times in the game. Under a minute and a half to go in the 3rd. Kilcrease facing a blitz, fires complete to the sidelines. Epps trying to break a tackle. And Terrell brings him down just short of the 35.
Really nice job of coming up. It is so difficult as a corner to come up, and you've got a wide receiver with the football, and he's got some space, did a nice job, just would not let go of him. And now going to bring up 3rd and 6. Maybe 4 down territory here.
7th play of the drive coming up for Troy. Kilcrease on the doorstep of a 300-yard night, sitting on 299. Rush is coming. Kilcrease sacked again. Back behind the 40 by Khalil Alexander.
What a nice move Alexander makes as he comes around. Just does a nice job of coming around from the outside and forcing it back up inside and there to make the tackle. And it is 4 down territory. I don't think you'll punt here, and it may be too long to attempt a field goal, but it's going to go to the quarter, and we'll find out. Start of the 4th.
That's the end of the 3rd
Got
quarter.
A big moment coming up when we start the 4th quarter. Bobcats going into the 4th on top, 38-27 over the Trojans. As far as the West Division standings go, Troy with a win would keep pace with Southern Miss for first in the West. Golden Eagles a win earlier in the week on the road at Georgia Southern. Bobcats, of course, want to avoid falling to 0-2, pick up their first Sun Belt win. Leading by 11 as we start the 4th quarter, and Troy going for it on 4th and 11. First play of the 4th quarter coming up. Carries a lot of weights. Kilcrease facing a three-man rush, steps up, slings it complete inside the 15. What a play for the Trojans. It's Taylor. First down, Troy.
Wow, what a great route. He came down, sold it to the outside, found that little seam. Great protection up front. What a pitch and catch. It's down to the 10-yard line on 4th and 11. Great protection up front as well.
Two huge plays on the series for Taylor. The first-year transfer out of Coastal Carolina. First and goal for the 10. Kilcrease will hand this off. And that's Williams down to the 7.
Good blocking up front, get a good push. A lead blocker out in front. Changes up front for Texas State.
Troy had a 17-point comeback earlier in the year on the road at Buffalo. Once down 21 in this game. A chance to make it a one-score game here again. Second and goal for the 7. Kilcrease with an empty backfield. To the end zone he goes. Incomplete for Taylor, but a flag. And they'll call Crosby for contact.
I don't know if this is a catchable ball, though. That's the only.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
There was definite contact on the outside, but legs got mixed up. But I'm not sure the ball was catchable.
Penalties marred at Texas State's game last week against the Red Wolves. There have been some big ones against the Bobcats tonight. Now first and goal from the 2. Williams in the backfield behind Kilcrease. It's Williams, a jump pass, and not even close. Looking for Trey Swartz. Second out and goal coming up.
That was defended well. Bobcats are right there. I think if it's not there, I think he did exactly what you're supposed to do as a back. If it's not there, not open, throw this ball away. We'll leave to go another down, and that's exactly what he did.
Taylor, the lone windout for the Trojans on second and goal, comes in motion. Kilcrease looking his way and going to throw that one away.
That's good defense again. And that's a nice job as a quarterback. It was covered right there and did a
No
nice
foul for
job.
intentional grounding. Number 8 was in the area of the pass.
He's in the pocket, but it was right over the top. Nobody was going to catch it, but it was right over the top of a receiver. Some changes here on both sides.
Trojans on third down tonight. They've struggled 3 of 10. Kilcrease will operate under center. Pumps, runs, Kilcrease stuffed.
Might have lost a half a yard right there. Now the question is right here, do you make it a one-possession game by kicking the field goal, or do you go for it here on 4th down? That's what it boils down to right here.
Big play from Jameis Minot on the tackle there for Texas State. And the Trojans are going to keep Renfro on the sidelines. One of the biggest plays of the game coming up. 13th play of the drive. 4th and goal. Kilcrease pressured, throws, end zone, touchdown. Swartz.
What an outstanding job of buying some time. Kilcrease just is not open. He was trying to get it to the outside. I think they're going to go for 2 here to make this a 3-point game. So just a really nice job of not panicking. Once he gets outside of the pocket, he just waits and waits and waits and finally finds a receiver. They are going to go for 2.
3rd touchdown pass of the night for Tucker Kilcrease. A 13-play, 75-yard drive going 6 minutes. This has been a brilliant offensive performance tonight from Gilcrease. Now going for 2. On the quarterback draw. Lost the football. It's recovered by Texas State. Doesn't matter. The 2-point attempt, no good. This remains a 5-point game.
Well, if he loses the football and it's fallen on by a Trojan, it's a touchdown. I mean, it's a 2-point conversion. We'll see what the call is here.
Try for a point. It's no good.
It's down. There is
Timeout.
a Bobcat down on the field.
Bobcat player is down. As you look back at the touchdown from Gilcrease on 4th and goal, connects with Trey Swartz. It's a 5-point game in the 4th quarter in St. Marcus.
Massive comeback here in the second half. They come up, come down, outside the pocket, does a nice job of buying time, Gilcrease does, and all of a sudden they go for 2. Ball comes out on a fumble, trying to go forward. Gilcrease was trying to fall on it, and if he falls on it, they get the 2-point conversion there, but he's unable to come up with it because the ball was knocked out. He didn't try to throw it forward, but ends up a 1-possession game here. 12:45 to go in the 4th quarter.
Here's the kick from McAteer. Jenkins will again take it out. He's done this all night. Jenkins will not reach the 20-yard line. He's had good returns all night, taking it out of the end zone, not this time. The Bobcats start behind the 20.
You just get the feeling, it's one of those type of things that you're going to need points here to come away with a victory. You've scored 425 yards of total offense for the Bobcats. I think there's going to need more points to come away with a victory here.
We've seen 4 punts the entire night, 1 in the second half. First down, Perry. And to the line of scrimmage, that's about it. Second down and long coming up for Texas State.
It's been such a dominating performance, Brant, on the ground with their 2 backs. Perry and Burrell have been outstanding in the ball game, but got a feeling that Jackson's going to have to get involved with his arm here.
Sparks in motion. It's Jackson to the keeper, RPO play, and Jackson will be stopped short of the first down. Tackled by Devin Lafayette. And a big 3rd down coming up for the Bobcats.
Yeah, he pulls this ball out, does a nice job, and I like the way he protects himself. He knew he was fixing to get hit, so he gets himself down on the ground. Makes it a manageable 3rd down here.
Third down, 4 to go. Bobcats 7 of 11 and third down of the game. Looking to avoid a 3-and-out. Jackson, well protected. And he's got Sparks, makes a move, and leaps forward to get past the sticks for the first down.
Balance right there, because when he first caught the ball, he was short. He keeps his elbow and his forearm off the ground with his left hand and able to just leap forward and get enough to get the first down.
And a quick screen to Chris Dawn. Out of bounds he goes, and Dawn will be marked down about a yard short of the first down of the 36.
They have had such great work tonight offensively by going fast, and they're going fast again.
Second down and 1. It's Perry wrapped up for a loss. Jordan Stringer makes a play there for Troy, and it brings up third down.
Well, he just shot the gap that time when it was right there. Perry had no chance to make a move. By the time he got the football, another big, huge third down here.
13 tackle night for Jordan Stringer. Empty backfield for Jackson to work with in third down. Back to pass over the middle. Dawn to catch it, another first down for Texas State.
Well, they just spread you out. They had players from sideline to sideline, 5 receivers. Jackson knew exactly where he wanted to go. Pitch and catch and gets the first down. Now do you think about using clock? They've had such much success, though, by going fast.
But a very efficient night for Jackson throwing the football, 14 of 16 for 160 yards. Sparks in motion at first down. It's Burrell who's had a big night. Stringer wraps him up. And the whistle finally blows. They'll mark forward progress to 46 for no gain.
Well, they're trying to run an inside trap. Penetration defeats traps. That's exactly what Troy got that time.
Outside the one big run by Burrell in the third quarter, Troy's run defense in the second half is vastly improved. Second and 10, Sparks in motion. It's Burrell up the middle, and on that talk of Troy's run defense, Burrell carves it up inside of midfield. That'll bring up third down and 2.
Really nice jump step. Just to get that triggered. It looked like he was going to be tackled. He gets a little jump step, gets to the outside, and makes it a very manageable third down.
Under 9 to go in the fourth. Bobcats protecting a 5-point lead. Already 2 third down conversions on the drive. Jackson trying to make it a third. It's Burrell, and Burrell will not get it. In fact, they're going to mark him back for a loss. Fourth and
the second half get stops. Looks like they're going to go for it on fourth down here.
Personnel changes for both teams. Bobcats are 2 for 2 on fourth downs. Empty backfield for Jackson.
Look for quarterback draw here.
Jackson steps up, fires. Dawn, first down.
They went empty, and it looked like he was set up for that, but he does a nice job. Dawn does a nice, quick slant. He gets a quick inside relief, and how about Jackson? Boy, he delivers a strike right there when he needed it.
Clutch drive here in the fourth quarter for Texas State. 11th play of the drive coming up. 3 third down conversions and 1 on fourth.
Using that clock.
First down for the Troy 41. It's Perry looking for a hole, and Perry over 100 for the Knights. He'll carry his defender with him inside the 35-yard line on the tackle made by Justin Poe.
How about his patience? When he needs to go quickly, Perry will hit the hole in a hurry. That time he just was so patient, waiting, find that little sliver of opening, just shoots through it, It's 8 yards.
Bobcats closing in on a second straight game of over 500 yards of offense, up to 476. After a gain of 8, it's Perry, and Perry will move the sticks again to the 26-yard line before he's tackled by David Daniel-Sesvada.
Watch you bounce it to the outside right here. Such good vision. Gets the first down. You got to take your time now. Now you're in the scoring zone. Long drive here. Taking time off of that clock.
The drive started with 12:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Bobcats have taken off more than 6 minutes. 13th play coming up. Perry in motion, Jackson the keeper. And Jackson drops after a short gain. Elijah Davis on the tackle. Lincoln Perry for the Knights. 3 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards for a 3rd time this season.
He's just been outstanding. 110 yards, 3 touchdowns. May take 1 more to put this one away. I can tell you.
18 carries so far for Perry. Been a fairly even split. Greg Burrell's got 13 carries of his own. Brad Jackson's also run it 16 times. It's been a run-oriented offense. It stays that way as Perry on 2nd down muscles ahead for a yard. 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 7.
Another huge play right here. Jackson's been so, they've run the ball so well, but he's been so efficient in the passing game. They just haven't asked him to throw it many times because the running game's been so good.
Troy's defense desperate to get off the field. They've had so many chances on this drive. If they can hold the Bobcats to a field goal, it would keep it a 1-score game. 3rd and 7. Jackson steps up, makes a move. Jackson, though, will be tackled short of the 1st down. Stringer on the stop at the 18-yard line.
I think you got to take the points here.
Yeah, the decision is to bring out Robles. Hit from 42 earlier in the game. This will be a 37-yard attempt to put the Bobcats on top by 8. And the kick, perfect. Clutch kick from Tyler Robles extends the lead to 41-33 following a 16-play drive for Texas State. Big possession coming up for the Trojans with 4 minutes to go in San Marcos. If you wanted to watch defense, you tuned into the wrong game.
Yes, you did.
Not many stops so far tonight. There have been 4 punts total, a combined 74 points scored. We've seen 1 punt in the second half, and check this out. So many lengthy drives. There have been 6 drives in the game from these two teams combined of 10 plays or more. These defenses can't get off the field.
They can't get off the field on 3rd down, and Texas State's been outstanding on 4th down to go with that as well. But it is a 1-possession game, 3:55 to go for Troy. They've got all 3 of their timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout, and going to get the football right here.
That last field goal drive for the Bobcats consumed nearly 9 minutes off the clock, 8 minutes 45 seconds, by far their longest drive of the season in terms of time consumed. Fair catch made at the goal line. And here come the Trojans. Big drive coming up for Tucker Kilcrease and Troy with the ball down by 8 and playing on the road. Look at Tucker Kilcrease getting ready to take the field for Troy. Look at his night, over 330 yards passing. A passer efficiency rating over 200, 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions.
He's just been fantastic. He's done a great job of moving around in the pocket, finding his receivers. Plenty of time on the board here with a chance to go down and tie this ball game up.
Kilcrease told us earlier in the week that we handle hard together very well. And they've proven that this year. Resilient team that's overcome deficits, trying to overcome one right now. Trailing by 8 in the 4th quarter, 4 minutes to go with all 3 timeouts. First down for the 25. Kilcrease slings, completes, and a broken tackle. Out across the 35-yard line goes Ra Thomas. First down, Troy, and a gain of 13.
Boy, he's just on time. He just goes back, he sets his feet, and when he sets his feet, the ball's coming out. And boy, nice pitch and catch. Good start to this drive.
Thomas checks out of the game for Troy, as does Epps. Trojans have plenty of time. There's also the 2-minute timeout to work with. Kilcrease with an audible up at the line. Motion from Taylor on the jet sweep. It's Kilcrease keeping it. Haven't seen him use his legs a lot like we did last week against the Jaguars. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, but it also gets you good positive yardage on 1st down play. Allows you to to have a lot of options here offensively, and they're trying to go a little. They do make substitutions, so it will take just a little bit to get back to the line of scrimmage because they're going to have a sense of urgency here soon.
2nd and 5. From the 42, Gilcrease harassed, flips it off the hands of Meadows, incomplete.
Boy, he took
just able to avoid a sack.
Tough to get up. He's going to try to get back up. Tough young man too, because he took a blow right there, trying to avoid being sacked and got rid of the football. How about the awareness to know where your receiver was to get rid of this football? He came up a little gimpy, but huge 3rd down coming here.
Took a hit from Traylon Payne. The Gilcrease sting of the game. Even with 3 timeouts, I would think this is 4-down territory for Troy. Here comes the blitz. Gilcrease out of the flat to Meadows, and he is tackled. Short of the 1st down. Amarian Atwood with a big play for Texas State.
Well, I tell you what, this is just a fantastic open field tackle of a good back in the flat. Makes it difficult. Now here's where we are. Here's that 4th down play you were talking about. I just don't think you can punt it away and think you're going to have a chance. There is a 2-minute warning coming if you want to, talk about it on the sidelines as he comes to the line of scrimmage. I don't think they'll get it off. We're going to get to the 2-minute timeout.
The play of the game
it's
coming
the 2-minute timeout.
4th and 6 for Troy. 2 minutes to go. Can the Bobcats get a stop, or can Troy keep the drive going? We'll find out after this on ESPN+. Here we go, Keith. 4th and 6 for Troy. Game on the line. What's the play call here for the Trojans?
Well, they've had so much success with little play action and dragging their tight ends or a drag across the middle. I think they will try to drag. There's some motion. Now drag back across the middle.
Troy 3 of 3 on 4th down tonight. Here's the blitz. Gilcrease fires. Thomas incomplete, but flags fly. And this will be against Texas State to keep the drive moving for the Trojans.
It's one of those that the ball was to the outside. It's going to be a pass interference. 15
Defense
yards.
number 4. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That's enough for the first down, and we'll continue the drive. Tried to bring pressure that time, and the Bobcats forced the throw out quickly, but the pass interference continues it.
And the Trojans have a pulse on this pass interference against Kamari Terrell. 1st and 10 inside of midfield. Kilcrease over the middle. He's got his tight end, Connor. Breaking tackles on his way to the 29.
That seam route has been open so much in this ball game. Done a great job delivering it, now in the hurry-up mode.
First down from inside the 30. Kilcrease well protected. Gonna run it now. Kilcrease tripped up by Alexander around the 28.
You want to hurry back here, save your timeouts. You don't want to leave a lot of time on the clock as well. Now they take a
First
timeout.
charge timeout. Troy, it'll be a 30-second timeout.
Kilcrease
Game
is
clock
really
operator,
gifted
please
getting
reset.
up after taking this hit to the outside. When he gets up right here, he is a little slow to get up second time. In this drive, he's been slow to get up off the turf.
Took a hit from Traylon Payne early in the drive. Got tripped up there by Alexander. First timeout of the half for the Trojans. 2 left. Minute 35 to go inside the 30-yard line. If you're Troy, you still have plenty of time available.
There's no question. And one of the things that we've seen them do and have success is when they put the motion in, they're motioning to the wide side of the field with motion, and they take the inside, either the inside slot or the tight end in the seam has been a very successful play the entire ball game.
The
top counter that.
Top target tonight has been DJ Epps for Troy, 6 catches. And Epps here lined up to Kilcrease's left. Has thrown for more than 360 yards, having a career night. Looking to engineer a comeback. Kilcrease pressured, flushed out of the pocket, and throws it away.
That's veteran presence right there.
And it was Emma Palasi-Longy applying the pressure for Texas State.
Yeah, they tried to run a double move on the outside. Nice coverage in the secondary that time. So he had to turn and look the other way, and then he saw the pressure. He's outside of the tackle box, so to speak, so he was able to throw it away and live to see another down. 3rd down now and 10, though.
Full wide out for Kilcrease and 3rd down. Texas State bringing pressure. Kilcrease complete. Thomas breaks a tackle, and Thomas has got the first down of the 18.
Texas State that time playing man with a 2-deep zone behind it, manning up on all the receivers, and gets the first down and breaks because of the break of the tackle. Clock stops, and now they'll start it back up when they set the chains.
A costly missed tackle for the Bobcats. Minute 20 to go. Kilcrease, 8 in coverage, fires, end zone, leaping catch, touchdown. DJ Epps, what a throw, what a catch.
That is just an outstanding throw and catch, you're right. Found that seam again, it's where they've had to do. They have an offensive lineman down, going to go for 2. Lineman down. They have plenty of timeouts, so this will be a scenario where it'll take time not only to get the player healthy, but it gives you an opportunity to think about what you want to do in your 2-point play. But just what a catch. How about going up right at the back of the end line and
the Trojan down is Caleb Ash, the redshirt freshman right tackle who took over in place of Garner Langlow earlier in the year because he's injured. And remember, Paul Bowling, the starting center, came out of the game earlier for Troy. This is an offensive line right now being put together by duct tape.
Yeah, and being successful. What a comeback. This is a team that just will not stay down. Came back with a huge win against Buffalo, down 17-0. This ball game, for all intents and purposes, you looked up in the first quarter, it was 21-0. It's 21-8. 28-7. You just no quit, just kept coming back, and they are one gigantic play from putting this game tied up and with 1:13 to go.
And now Troy going for two. A missed two-point attempt earlier in the quarter.
Yeah, they went with quarterback draw on that two-point attempt. See what they do here. Everybody comes to their feet. Play of the game.
Thomas, wide to the right. On the two-point conversion, Meadows in the backfield. This to tie the game. Kilcrease, pressured, throws. Epps, another catch to tie the game. It's Epps again, and it's 41-all.
There is a flag down. Not sure what this flag is coming. It's in the backfield. It either can be hands to the face or holding. See what the call is here.
We're trying to get a read on body language. Can't tell right now. This could go either way.
I think it's going to be.
Result of the play is a successful two-point try. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 23. That penalty be assessed on the kickoff.
So the two-point conversion holds. We are tied at 41. What a comeback for the Trojans.
Well, it's just been outstanding. You tip your cap to coming back, and they did it. They got the football. They started down the field. The seam was so important, a big play here on fourth down that gets them into Bobcat territory. They come back, missed tackle here. Again, that was on third down as well. And then what a job coming up. And this is, what a catch to tie the, well, 2 points tied the game. But that gave them the opportunity to tie the game. And nice catch right there, right at the end line. And it's 41-all. Now, a lot of time left, 1:13, but the Bobcats tonight, their offense has been on the ground. So it's used time off the clock. Now, they've had explosive plays on the ground, but Brad Jackson now is going to be asked, this ball's got to go in the air now.
A 4-touchdown night for Tucker Kilcrease. And just engineered and 9 plays, 75-yard drive, squib kick. And it bounces over the head of Jenkins, picks it up, and Jenkins is going to be tackled at around the 2-yard line.
That's just an outstanding kick. I mean, it takes you out of any feeling that you want to try to go forward here. This ball's going to be marked at the 2-yard line. Just a great kick, gets that great big hop, goes up, it's touched in the field of play, so you got to pick it up and try to run it back out. And it'll be down inside the 2-yard line. Troy still has 2 timeouts left. I think you've got to run this football.
Second straight game for Texas State and for Troy, for that matter, coming down to the wire. And you're the Bobcats, you have to be very careful here because Jackson's taking the snap in the end zone. It's a run for Perry and back to the line of scrimmage, that's it.
How do you take timeouts here? That's the question. I think you got to play for overtime now. That's the only way that you can look at this. I don't think you can try to get aggressive. You're going to have to snap it one more time. Troy could take a timeout after the next time you snap it, but you can snap it somewhere around 25 seconds to go.
Play clock down to 5. Jackson will hand it Perry again. And to the 3-yard line, that's it. Does Troy call a timeout here?
Yes,
they will.
did.
And they can stop the clock again if the Bobcats run it on 3rd down.
Second charge timeout, Troy. This will be a 30-second timeout. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 19 seconds, 1-9.
But
Thank you.
Troy, with having a timeout, you're going to run the ball again here. And they're going to call timeouts. You're going to have to punt it out of your own end zone. Troy will be out of timeouts at that point. But if you don't get a good punt away, it's almost in field goal range where you're going to have to punt it from.
19 seconds to go. Second charge timeout to Troy. They have 1 left. The Trojans just won an overtime game last week. Well, the Bobcats lost a 1-point heartbreaker with 7 seconds to go in the 4th quarter against Arkansas State last week. At one point, a 21-point lead, now tied at 41. And 3rd and 8 for Texas State. Jackson gonna throw it for Dawn, the catch. Dawn makes a move. Dawn across the 35-yard line with 12 seconds to go.
Now that's a riverboat gambler as a head coach and a play caller. It just, you would think we're going to run it.
First charge timeout, Texas State. This will be a 30-second timeout.
A redshirt freshman quarterback to deliver it. Now, you take the timeout. A lot of time went off of this clock, but you can go vertical right here, and you can go in the middle of the play because you still have 2 timeouts left. Probably, at most, 2 plays left to get yourself in a position where you might be able to attempt a long field goal.
The longest season for Tyler Robles is 50 yards. That would mean reaching the 33, 32-yard line in Troy territory. To do that, the Bobcats would need another 28, 30 yards or so to get into field goal range.
Yeah, you're going to have to get something in the seam, but you do have the timeout. See if you can make somebody miss. But you also got to be aware of the time. If you're running open down the field, you got to get to the ground and call timeout.
They're looking at Robles, who missed an extra point last week, may have a chance of redemption tonight. 13 seconds to go. Jackson, well protected, fires for the sideline. A fingertip catch is made by Stamey. That took about 4 seconds off the clock, and it only gained about 6 yards.
Yeah, they were dropping deep in the middle of the field. Might have had a chance to get sparks. You need something 15, 17-yard out, 41, 42-yard line to even think about an attempt.
9 seconds left. Might be time for 2 more plays. Jackson, deep drop, flushed out of the pocket. Gonna throw it deep, and he's got a man inside the 30. Dawn, 2 seconds to go. And the Bobcats call for timeouts. What a play, what a throw from Jackson. And Texas State has a chance.
Just an outstanding job by Brad Jackson of rolling to the outside, watching, buying enough time, and then he sets his feet, makes a perfect throw, and Don comes open and gets to the ground with 2 seconds to go in the ball game. Timeout, field goal attempt to win the ball game. How do you expect this to end any other way?
Right.
What have we had tonight?
A gain of 33, 2 huge catches on the drive for Dawn. Texas State was faced with 3rd and 9 from its own 2-yard line with under 20 seconds to go. And here they are now at the 24 to set up a game-winning field goal drive for Tyler Robles.
Well, we've had 82 points That's obvious in a 41-41 game. 999 yards of total offense in the game between the two clubs. Texas State at 563 to this point.
The snapper is Austin Turner. David Nunez, Texas State's punter, will hold it. This will be from 42 yards out to win the game and walk it off. Looking to give the Bobcats their first home win over Troy in 28 years. And now Troy calls for time. And Jared Parker wants to make Robles think about this some more.
He called it late. Ball was snapped. He did his job. He went ahead and hammered it right through.
At the top of the broadcast, we showed you the reaction from Robles at the end of the game last week in Jonesboro. He was dejected. Put that on his shoulders, missing the point after on the late touchdown from Lincoln Perry that opened the door for Arkansas State to come back and win the game. But now a chance to win it. On this drive for the Bobcats, 2 big plays. That a little quick completion to Stamey, but this one, the big connection to Chris Dawn. Well, here we go. A 42-yard attempt to win the game. And the kick from Robles. And it is off the uprights. It doinks, it is no good. And we are going to overtime.
Just played it for it to hook a little bit. Didn't hook quite enough. And off of the left upright.
4 quarters not enough. To overtime we go. Back at the missed kick from Tyler Robles, a chance to win the game from 42 yards out, and it clangs off the upright, and with that, Keith, we're going overtime.
Yeah, just what a remarkable second half for for the Troy Trojans. On the other side, what a great opportunity to win the game, but off the upright.
Congratulations, here we are in extra periods. Your options will be offense, defense, or which end of the field we're going to go. Again, here's the coin. That's heads, that's tails, that's heads, that's tails. Troy, what's your call?
Heads.
Called heads. Texas State has won the toss, elected to go on defense. First down at that end zone for Troy.
So the Bobcats win the toss, and again the strategy is to be on defense first. That way you know on your offensive possession what you need. To recap the rules of overtime, in the first overtime after touchdowns, you can kick a point after. However, in the second overtime, if you score a touchdown, you must go for two. If it is still tied at the end of two overtimes, it becomes alternating 2-point attempts to win the game.
That's exactly correct. And, so it'll be important. That's why if you do win the toss, Texas State won the toss, if they will play defense first, and if they give
go beating South Alabama. For the Bobcats, this is their first overtime game in 4 years. Ironically enough, their last overtime game, they beat South Alabama. So this the first overtime game in G.J. Kinney's tenure at Texas State. Kilcrease on first down. Blitz from Texas State. It's Meadows on the run, and he'll lose about a half yard. Second and long coming up for Troy.
Bobcats came an all-out blitz that time. Both linebackers and the strong safety on the line, and they're right back to the line of scrimmage here.
A trips formation to Kilcrease's left, looking that way. And now finds a receiver, and it's Epps, who had two huge catches in the fourth quarter. The late touchdown followed by the 2-point conversion. After that game, it's third down and 3.
Now he was trying to fake it to go deep, and then he came off of that and came back to him. He was bobbling that ball as he was trying to secure it. Huge third down here.
And now Kilcrease over 400 yards passing. These two teams more than 1,000 yards of offense tonight. Third down, Kilcrease facing a blitz, fires complete, and it's Epps. To the 10-yard line he goes for a first down.
A perfectly thrown ball on inside slant. Epps does a nice job of holding on to it, fighting forward.
How about Epps' night? 9 catches, 142 yards, and that clutch fourth quarter touchdown. Troy looked dead to rights early in the game. They were down 21-0 before fans could settle in. Here they are now playing in overtime. Run on first down. Williams to the 6.
Come in with a blitz that time. Did a nice job of bouncing off the first blitzer, making something positive.
Changes on defense for Texas State. Second and goal for Troy from the 6. Epps the big night lined up wide to the right. Higgins in motion. Blitz coming. Kilcrease to the end zone. Epps again. Touchdown Trojans.
What an outstanding pass. By staying in there, he knew he was going to get blown up. And finds that seam again. It's been so important all night long. And first lead of the night. The first lead of the night, and it is in overtime.
Tucker Kilcrease told us earlier in the week this team handles adversity extremely well. They handle hard together, and they have done that tonight. From down 21 to up 6 in Renfro to make it a 7-point lead. And the Bobcats know what they need. They need 7 to extend and 8 to win.
Well, you got 4 downs to move the chains and get it in the end zone. Any kind of type of turnover, Troy will find a way to win this ball game.
5 touchdown passes tonight for Tucker Kilcrease, having the game of his life tonight. And now G.J. Kenny will look to his offense to respond. Just saw Brad Jackson engineer a late potential game-winning drive with seconds to go. Ended, though, on the missed field goal from Robles. Now the Bobcats possession in overtime. Starts with an empty backfield. Perry in motion. Jackson facing the rush. Flush out of the pocket and throws it away.
Now the pressure just got to Jackson that time. He had Bo Spears running wide open and coming across the middle. Just didn't have enough time to deliver the football. Now 2nd and 10.
Just a 3rd incomplete pass of the night for Jackson. 2nd and 10. They get an empty backfield. Jackson to the sidelines. Caught by Evans. Slips a tackle. Evans going to be stopped about a yard short of the first down.
The clock moving. When do they mark him? They do mark him out about a foot short of the first down.
First down by Kalino Levine. 3rd down on the yard. And it's Perry. And Perry stops short of the first down. Well, the ball game coming up with 4th and 1 set up for Texas State.
Boy, he just tried to make that move back to the outside, and a really good gang tackle right at the point of attack, and here it is. The ball game is definitely right here.
Justin Poe made that tackle before this play. Whistle's blowing. Timeout called by Troy.
Troy, should be a 30-second timeout.
Well, they see the alignment and the trips to the outside, and they immediately call timeout. How about 4th and a yard, and you're throwing the football? It's got to be caught. That was it. You know, it's a play where it was set up, though. I think if you get the completion, you got a chance maybe not only to get the first down, but score.
So, Keith, if you're Texas State, your offensive coordinator, Landon Keppel, you have options here on 4th and a yard. You run the ball well all night, but Troy's done a much better job defending the run as the game has progressed. So do you open up the playbook and put the ball in Brad Jackson's hands, or do you keep it on the ground here 4th and 1?
I'd like to spread the field with a back, get the receivers on the outside. And you're right, I'd like to see a little RPO where, a zone read where you can read give if you need to give it, or if you need to pull it out if you're Jackson and use your feet.
Game of the line here for Texas State's redshirt freshman quarterback. They come out with that same trips formation. Jackson on the keeper, and Jackson didn't get it. The Trojans get the stop, and the comeback is complete. Whistles are blowing. This play might be under review, but I don't think Jackson got there.
Ruling on the field's runner was short of the line to gain. The game is over.
And it is the men of Troy with a comeback of the ages. Down 21 points, the Trojans storm back and win 48-41 in overtime. A resilient win for the Trojans. And they now sit at 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play.
Well, it's just, you look at the scenario, down 21-0, 28-7, and then from that point on, they outscore Texas State 41-13. and come back in the second half and win this ball game. Just an outstanding performance, and they did it so many ways. But it all starts with the guy taking the snaps. He was outstanding tonight, a career night.
Tucker Kilcrease, a magnificent performance tonight for the Troy Trojans. Over 400 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. His team down 8 in the fourth quarter, needing a drive to extend the game. Had to convert on 4th down. The Trojans get that on a key penalty against Texas State, and then connects with DJ Epps. That sets up a 2-point conversion to perhaps tie the game. Hits Epps again. Troy comes back to tie it. The Bobcats had their chance to win it in regulation, but for the second straight week, Tyler Robles, a critical miss for the Bobcats.
Yeah, he missed a 42-yarder that hit the left upright and just couldn't come back into the field to play. But this game to me tonight is all about the intestinal fortitude of a football team, and the Troy Trojans showed that intestinal fortitude because they very easily could have shut the door and went home when they were down so many times in that first half.
Well, again, head coach Jared Parker told us that his team this season, a resilient group, a much improved team from a year ago, and through 6 games at the halfway point of the season, they've shown that.
Yeah, they definitely have shown that, and they put themselves in great position now, 4-2 overall, 2-0 in Sun Belt play.
And for the Bobcats, a really difficult start for them. 0-2 start to Sun Belt Conference play, losing with 7 seconds to go last week at an overtime here.
Yeah, you just look at it. They had everything. It looked like they were backed up, had the game won, and then all of a sudden they make 2 miracle plays, get an opportunity to hit a field goal. It hits off the upright, and then they lose in overtime.
They'll look to rebound next week in Marshall. Well, the Trojans will be on the road themselves to take on ULM. That's going to wrap up our coverage tonight of a wild one here in San Marcos, won by the Trojans. For Keith Moreland, I'm Brant Freeman saying so long from UFCU Stadium. The final score in this one in overtime, Troy 48, Texas State 41. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. From San Marcos, good night.